Yeah. Come on. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Sean Higgs coming at you here. A little midday money. Saturday, the 30th. Welcome on into the show. Free picks are in the chat already. And if you're like, what the heck? What's going on here? Yeah, I threw it on American Gambler, Max Wager. Of course, Sean Higgs, P&P, and Winner Free Picks. On the X, Mr. Sean Higgs, come give me a follow, hit that like button, and be part of the Midday Money family. Special episode today, episode 500. 500 on Spotify, Pandora, and iHeartRadio, and all the Google Music, Apple Music, wherever you listen. The 500th one on there. Pretty cool. I actually sent out some invites to some other people. Say, hey, why don't you come in, watch the show? And normally I don't have guests, right? I used to have Tim on in the background, kind of helping out. But other than that, it's really not a guest-driven show, right? It's a comment-driven show. And it's good to tell you who I like, tell you who like. We go on and on. Today might be a little different. Might be a long show, might be a short show. Again, subscribe. Maybe if you're not on the Sean Higgs channel, because I'm going to have maybe people from other channels on. And again, I don't own Winner Free Picks. Picks probably on my channels. I don't want to cause any problems. So we might go long or longer. It'll be over on my Sean Higgs channel. So if you're not over there, go over there. Because it might just be an influx of people. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I have no idea. All right, let's get into recaps. See how today goes. Hey, what time is it here? All right, so 2:03 into the show. We'll do a recap from yesterday. We had a 1 and 2 day in college basketball on the show. Kent State goes down. NC Cashville. Asheville wins. San Diego does not get there, but 4 and 2 for the premiums. We'll take it. College football, we drop both Clemson and Oregon State here in the video. I'm a little annoyed for myself. I go 1-1 on the sites with under Notre Dame 44. Are you kidding me? 40-8. And what was the other one? Missouri minus 120, plus 115, and minus 2.5. Never in doubt. All those numbers. Crazy. All right. Today's action. Let's get right to it. College football, 52 and 44 in the video, plus 390. And on the sites, we're having a nice season. I think we're 105 and 77 or something along those lines. Good year college football. Auburn, minus the 5.5 today. Georgia, first half. This is both first halves here. Team total, 16.5, and a minus 13 as well for them in the first half. I wish I had, because I have the under here. I have an under 45. I would be lying if I said I wasn't worried about the 45. Why do I think Georgia could score 45 themselves? I'm hoping for 37-0. 37-3 will get me there. I think this is a blowout. I don't think this game is close today. This is the team that has something to prove. Back-to-back national champs, 1 loss. Florida State can whine all they want. The quarterback was hurt. I feel for him. It's tough. Should they be their conference champion? I get it. You opened up as a 14-point dog. You're a 21-point dog last time I checked today. Georgia in a rout. NBA, we are 13 and 12 in the video, minus $20. On the site, so not too bad. I think we're, again, depending on site, 13 and 9, 17 and 10, 15 and 8. We're making money. Pistons. Yes, the Pistons plus 5.5 and money line plus 175. Told you the other day, take the Pistons against the Celtics. They covered. Told you take them against the Nets. They covered. I'm telling you, take them again today. Because I think they're going to win today. College hoops 47-49. We mentioned the 1 and 2 day yesterday, minus 650. Harvard plus 2.5. Northern Arizona plus a touchdown. And St. Bonaventure minus a point here on a neutral. The Bonnies. I have what? 3, 6. I got 8 games up on the site. If you're a Winner Free Pick premium member for a whopping $4.99 a month, which I get about $1, I threw the last few days. I'm putting every play up on there, not in video form, but in message form. So again, if you see it on there, just give me a thumbs up. I don't know who's seeing it. I saw I think we had 6 thumbs up, so if only 6 people saw the plays, I don't like that. But hey, it is what it is. Hockey 8-11 minus $90. Nothing here in the video for on the ice today. But I'm sure if some of our guests come in, maybe they'll have some hockey, maybe they'll have some NBA. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Maybe nobody shows up. Who the heck knows? I have no idea. NFL 44-30 plus 11-10 NFL season. We are doing well there. So no Marcos Minute for my guy Marcos. Way too many games, Marcos Minute. I forgot to even write down the time I started doing the rundown. But what are you going to do about that? Let's see how we are. We got it posted. We're posted on Twitter. Super. All right. Comment time. Let's go. Let's go. T-Money's in the house. Smash the like button. All to pieces. Number 500. Yes, T-Money. I should send T-Money a link. Come on. Mr. Let's take a plus 1950 soccer dog plus 850 live bet. What do we got? Yes, thank you for the happy 500 T-Money. Demon Mode last night in the book. 3-0 college bowl games, live action. Why not? Cam Johnson scoring props as the gift keeps on giving. Why is Columbus an underdog? Is this on the ice today, Columbus? We're talking Blue Jackets against Buffalo. 2-1 Buffalo. This is, though, a tricky one. And I said this yesterday about Memphis. They were a 10.5-point home dog on their own field in a bowl game. Like, what's that about? And again, it would have lost. I didn't play it. It was just one of those games stuck out to me. Buffalo is a 2-1 favorite. I mean, Blue Jackets are on all grade shakes. Do I think they're a $2 dog on the ice? Michael B's in the house. Good morning. Wine time, wine time. I sent you a message. Groovy says 500 gunner for 5K one day. You know, Groove, yes, it would be. And this is just in like the last year since I've been doing the BLeav channel, right? I had posted videos for I think 2 years before they were like, hey, we can get you on Spotify, Pandora, and iHeart, and all those, TuneIn, Stitchers, whatever they were. I think all in all, I have more than 500 episodes, obviously, but for the sake of the BLeav, and again, I don't want to kick in, BLeav's back. I don't know. I wish I could have loaded up videos to their YouTube channel. I see their videos a lot on Twitter and stuff. And maybe if I go into there is a community group and like in a private kind of area, like, oh, you post video. I don't post my stuff every day because it's, my show is good for that day. That's how we usually get first 10, 15 minutes. A lot of people watch and it drops off because they got picks. They move out. But thank you, Groovy. You've been here a while. Dave's in the house. I'm on a Pistons money line today. Is today the day? Well, we don't hope for a win, right? Because when you hope in one hand, you know what happens. When you poop in the other, you need some soap for your dirty hands. Teammate says Columbus plus 260. Davidson money line. Columbus is plus 260? We must be on a different. I don't know what game that is. I thought it was Columbus Blue Jackets. It'd be probably, if there were $2 fave, the way the splits are now, it's probably a plus a 160 or maybe even a 150. Davidson money line. All right, so I gotta look around here where these games are on my sheet. I see Quinnipiac. They are getting the points from Florida. Florida wins by 19. Florida State money line. It probably gets smoked. A bunch of our props from Cunningham. Florida State is. Why would you sprinkle money line on Florida State? Is Georgia just not showing up today? Have you seen the Florida offense? The team was defensive first, and they got a bunch of guys out. Missouri money line hit. Yes, they did. I said this yesterday when that line was back up to 5-6. I'm like, I can't just get back in and throw good money after bad, right? I just couldn't keep rolling. I had the Missouri money early. I wasn't going to double up. I didn't know what was going to happen. I'll take a win's a win. NBA winner, Utah and college hoops. Kent State got crushed. Yeah, should have stuck to my don't bet against Marys and more Moringa. Yep. Has this team been worthy of laying double digits like that, though? I don't care if they were home. They have not played well. They are an up and down squad. I don't want to lay points with that. Maybe you just shouldn't have bet. Well, I mean, you don't think it's Mary's is to play. Detroit to smoked rappers. They look pathetic last night. You got the Celtics off of a crazy game versus the Pistons, right? Game they nearly lost. This game goes down to the wire last night as well. I don't like Toronto. Gene, wishing you a happy new year. You as well. Thanks for popping in. This is why I keep posting on Facebook. Every once in a while, we get a new face in here. Come in and say hello. Good stuff. T-Mike says, Michael B always coming in and interrupting my flow. Your flow, 900 games. Soccer. Let's take money lines. I like the other day in Wyoming, 44.5. Was this the Barstool game versus Toledo? So I do like Wyoming here. Coach retiring. Is that why it's gone up? I mean, I think the Toledo quarterback's out, but Toledo is the better team. But to go from a dog to a fave, I don't hate the under. 40. It's come down as well too, Dave. I was not involved from the beginning. I don't think I'll get involved. Maybe live. See how it goes. Like says T Money, happy to help. Interrupting. Good job on live betting. That's what I'm going to do for Iowa football game. Here we go. Iowa, Tennessee tomorrow. This I gotta say, I like Tennessee. Tennessee will probably be in the video here as a free play. Not a big Milton guy. So where's the big drop off there? Iowa scoring here. I mean, they're a touchdown dog. What is that about? T-Money. Georgia wins 30-17 probably, but you're probably right, Sean. Honestly, I can see Florida State and Georgia both coasting a bit here today. Florida State coasting is what? Just not showing up? How are they coasting? Georgia wants to be like, wow, we're back-to-back champs. We lose to Alabama, who's as hot as anybody, and we're not in. So they have a right to be angry. Back-to-back champs, one loss in a championship game versus the number 2 team in the nation. Now, who are you replacing them with? Washington's been pretty good all year. If you want to say Pac-12 stinks, take Washington. I understand that. It can't be Texas. Texas already beat Alabama, and Georgia lost to them. And Michigan's undefeated, and they're Michigan. And Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State. They think they're Alabama, Georgia 2.0. Georgia is gonna. I'm worried about my 45. I think Georgia might score 50 themselves here. Team total is 32.5 on Georgia. Stop at the Florida State. Do you want it, please? I did bet Ole Miss, but I took the money line plus 175. They went and got blown out. I agree. Mike like multiple bowl games. Shout outs in the house. Here we go. Razor Sharp. Shout out, Sean Hicks. My guy Razor. Follow Razor. I think I said I sent out a bunch of things that, hey, people want to come in, say hello. Let's go. Razor didn't get the I sent Razor one. I sent a few people some. Michael B's in house. NBA today. I'm looking at the Pistons first quarter. Yes, Pacers. Indiana versus the Knicks 3.5. Is the Pacer over still a thing, Mike? Mavericks going against your Warriors, huh? I almost want to take Golden State there. And the T-Wolves, Minnesota versus, of course, it's the Lakers. You know how we feel about Hollywood. No LAL. More like LOL, the Lakers. T-Money, Sean, they should have covered against the Nets, but I'm with you today. Should be the Flying Pigs days. Flying Pigs days. They get a win, but if not, Cade still drop them. Cade Cunningham, I can't do it to Cade Cunningham. T-Money, first quarter full game, plus 340 for the Pistons. I like it. Lauren is in the house. 500. Yes, it's 500. Be here for 1,000. Should be soon, Lauren. We'll start racking up because I believe that the look headlines will come back for college hoops. Groovy's in the house. First basket Pistons game. Kate Cunningham. Here we go. Groovy loves the first basket. At least it's not Jalen Brunson. We got a guest coming in backstage. We got Tooch in the house.
Hey, Sean, happy 500.
If you haven't followed Tooch, is there no you got no nameplate, Tooch?
I don't think I have it in yours. Let me put one in here.
Come on. Stuff here.
Let's see.
Let me pull out the comments and banners so we could. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just.
I think I have to. Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah, it's weird that I don't have the little. There's no. Wow. How do I know? That's weird. There's no little name boxes. Whatever. What are we gonna do? Anyway, so Tooch, I do a show with Tooch on Fridays with our guy Poundit, Mr. Joe Adele rookie card. But Tooch is with Bar. He does what bar? Barroom Bears
Barroom Network. Yep,
yes.
It was formerly Bears Barroom.
Bear Barroom.
Mostly Bears talk, other stuff, movies, entertainment.
That's how my shows roll into anyway, Tooch. You know that.
Mike North is like the shock jock. King of Chicago sports radio, invented sports radio in Chicago. He's on the network, has a couple shows. So been on with Mike North, got to know Mike. Really great guy.
I'm just, why can't I get little name tags up here?
I think it's in the, what do you call it? In the settings on the right.
Settings?
Yeah, there's God, what is that called? Hold on.
Guests?
There's like a appearance. I think it's called appearance or brand.
Guests can stream to their own destination. Guest viewers see comments. Play a sound. Guests enter. Guests must authenticate.
Under the brand, I think it's there. I think you click on a theme. It's called theme. Show display names. There's a little toggle.
Hotkeys? Is it under hotkeys? Layout themes? I have no idea.
It's under brand, and then you go to theme.
I don't have a brand. Where does it say brand in settings?
Brand. There should be comments, banners, brand, and private chat on the right of the bar. Do you see the bar?
Oh, that over there.
Yeah.
I'm looking in the settings over here. Here we go.
Yeah,
all right, so
on the
right. Brand.
Click brand. Yep, and then theme. Click on any of the classic or block or minimal.
Yeah, I got bubble,
and then toggle the one that says show display names.
Got it.
Look
at that.
Yep.
Listen, 500 episodes on this channel. I don't even know how to do it. There we go.
All right. Click on the comments here, see what people are doing.
Right, yes.
Friday nights, weekend sports betting tips with Sean, myself, and Anthony from PoundedSports.com, giving out free plays.
Post it in the thing, and then I'll get to. I got to find out where I was leaving off here. I got to get back to my comment. See, this is why when you know what it's like, Tooch, because we do the 3-man, and if you got to go into comments, it's tough to jump back and forth. You got to do comments, and then it's like you can't go over. So all right, let's see what we got here. Yeah. I turned a little 50 into 400, firing away plus money. Yes, take the plus monies. Alex is in the heart. Ole Miss, lock it in. I got Ole Miss at a lowly 3.5 here. I cannot back James Franklin. We talked about this last night, Tooch. Why is this line 6? It's okay. You know what? As someone just mentioned earlier, it is Ole Miss money line or Penn State rolls. I can't bet Penn State. I got Ole Miss.
I got Ole Miss too, but I mean Trent's on Ole Miss now, so it's like.
So listen, normally we don't throw out that guy's name in here. I try not to talk about other channels as guests, so that's why I was like, you know what? It's going to be a weird show today because I'm going to have people popping in here, and it's going to be totally different than a normal show, and I can't control what other people say, and it's not my, I don't want to. I try not to bet like that's just wrong. I mean, we know those kind of, but. Groovy says, where do I start today? So much action. Which way do I go? I would have said start with Ole Miss here. If it's up to 6.5, I am not a Penn State backer. No, thank you. And college hoops early. My first college hoops game, I think I got in chat here as a little Harvard action. I believe I put Harvard in there. Did I put Harvard up here? Or maybe I did not put Harvard in. Yeah, it's Harvard.
Plus 2.5.
Harvard, Northern Arizona, and the Bonnies. Columbus at college basketball, they're getting, it's Columbia. It's Columbia against 7.5. They're not called Columbus. Come on, T-Money. T-Money should know better. So you can't put Columbus, and I'm thinking we're talking Blue Jackets, and it's Columbia. Thanks, right? Yeah, thanks, Steve Money. Groovy. Michael B says, I want to take Gulf Coast today against FIU. Huge win. This will be the first true road game. I don't think this is their first true road game. I mean, what is their first true road game because they're playing in another arena as opposed to a neutral?
I'm on FAU, man. That is one good team.
This is a road game in Florida?
Yeah. Against a team that isn't that good, man. Look at
this.
They haven't beat anybody.
Dunk City, Gulf Coast. FAU is the real deal. I mean, they've played real teams.
Yeah.
Get the money, team money. Or to Groovy, team money saying it.
15.5 points is nothing for FAU.
Groovy, I'll send links. Groovy wants one. I'll write down. Groovy, I'll send you one in a second. Hold on a second. I just got to run through because the show is. I can't just get sidetracked talking to guests. That's how you why my show is like totally on its own because it's strictly all comments.
Yep.
Michael says took Dallas double result -118. This kind of team does not win the first half, they will probably lose the game. Dallas has to win this game here. They can still make the playoffs, but for this fact of you got manhandled in Buffalo, you lose shooting yourself in the foot against Miami. Win this game at home here where you're outscoring. You've outscored teams by 170 points at home. But and Detroit's got to be feeling themselves. And I like Detroit here to start. Then they end up winning last week and Dallas end up losing. And it totally changes my aspect of what I thought this game would be. 30 years since they won the Lions. No, thank you. Dallas, take care of business tonight, Dallas. I got Dallas in the over. We're all gambling fools for betting the Pistons, but even the foolish get to, yeah. They've covered the last two. What are you talking about? This is the whole talk of them never winning is why you kind of get on them a little bit here. Go opposite of those thoughts. Yes, Columbia. Here we go. Took you 4 times to figure that one out, T-Buddy. You know I like Fordham. Where's that number, Fordham?
I think it's 7. 7.5.
I'm trying to find it. I have a printout, but it's this rotation order. I don't know the number, so I can find it. Jamar Gibbs anytime touchdown. Yes.
Yeah.
I like his rushing over. Yeah. And they have 2 good running backs. That's why I kind of like the over. I think this is a
when it gets
Lane's
to 52,
in the house,
though, man, 52 totals are kind of in that area, where I kind of bow out.
I was with Gabe Morrissey the other night, Sports Rage with Cam. I said, I think Dallas scores. I said go over 41.5. I think they're going to score in the 40s, Dallas. Groovy, anytime touchdown he likes. Yes, both of those guys. Trey Carter says Auburn -4.5 here. I do like Auburn, Trey. I have Auburn in the chat. I got Auburn in the chat. I don't do I have it? It's not posting right up. Let me get the banner up so when I pull a comment off, it'll be right up. But there it is. Auburn 5.5. Now I got to find out where I was in the comments. Here we go. God, so this is Ole Miss in football, I guess, +6. I like it, but I see Penn State's moving the ball. Wyoming Cowboys, yes. I'll get to Jesse in 1 second. I see it back there, Jess. Hold on. College hoops, Creighton and UCLA. I don't like this UCLA team. I got a question mark next to them, but I want to take Oregon. And who do the Blue Jays got? Moneyline Marquette. They got Marquette.
Yep.
Marquette is tough. Let's bring in our next guy saying hello. Jesse says he's had a couple wines today, but look, we'll see how it is.
It's New Year's. It's the holidays. It's after midnight where I'm at, guys.
Happy New Year to you, 2024. You look pretty good for drunk after midnight on New Year's. Do you know Tooch, Jess?
I was going to say I'm familiar with the name. I don't think I've seen the face. And good looking guy, Tooch. Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
I got to tell you,
big fan.
He looks like he trimmed up a little bit since I saw him yesterday. It looks like he trimmed up his little crazy beard going on.
I did, but I got this little spot here like alopecia makes my mustache look. It's like
you guys do a show together once in a while, right?
Yeah, Friday nights. Yeah, weekend sports betting tips on Barham Network.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I tune in all the time like I do to Midday Money, but I'm familiar with the. I've seen the names out there. I know you guys are doing
as
things.
much as you throw the good meat up on the grill. This guy's running the Subway. He's like, Subway's got some good. Good Italian subs. Totally
Well, speaking
killing the Italian. Totally killing us Italians with that. But he's at the sticks, though. He's not got no good Italian.
speaking of Italian, I got some olives here. I got some nice cheeses.
Yep.
Some nice salamis and crackers. And I don't know if you've seen it.
Here's my Taylor ham and cheese for a Saturday. I was rolling some Taylor ham.
Do you do pastrami, Sean? Or is that just?
Heck yeah.
Pastrami.
I just posted on my Twitter. I got a brisket that I've been brining for 8 days, and I've never done a pastrami before on my grill, but I'm going to try it for New Year's. I'm going to throw the
grill.
Yeah. You take a pastrami. I mean, you got to smoke it, right? It has to smoke. So it smokes for like 8 hours, and then you take it in the oven for a couple hours. You rest it and you slice it.
I'm still learning the smoker because mine's like a hanging meat. It's not like a pellet. Like my brother's got a pellet. He's down visiting. He's like, "Oh, I got the pellet." I'm like, "No, mine is put the meat on a rack underneath fire." So first time it came out good. The second time, I guess the fire was too high. My ribs were everything was just well done. We had to go out to dinner. It was a crazy one. All right, we got to jump comments. This is again, the guests are totally throwing me off. T-Boy says, "I agree, Sean. I'm a fool for taking Florida State at 10-1. I can't take a 10-1. I can't. Florida State. No. How do you take Florida State here? No. I'm all for taking the dogs. I get it.
Take that money and go to Subway.
Go Subway. Hit a like button for me, Miss Nika. Where is Miss? Yeah, Marcos Minute. There's only 100 games today. Come on, Marcos. We got 70 games today. I can't do it,
Jesse's got the wine. He's got cheese, salami. That's the best lunch, man. Little cheese.
I mean,
salami,
it really
olives.
is like 1 in the morning where I'm at, right? Like, I'm not screwing around, right? Like, I've been at a dinner party already. I'm 3 bottles deep. Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna pull pics from Dave. Is in the house. Everybody know pics from Dave.
What's
so
up?
We're gonna get some new people you might not know. And again, it's weird because I want to just get through all the comments first and then get to the guests because Dave knows this because his show, Picks from Dave, it is nonstop, guests in and out, and the comments are they kind of pop up when there's laughter or just craziness involved. And again, I don't know if I'm going to have to cut this short on some of the other channels because of where this may transpire with the crew because my show's usually family friendly. You could talk, and if it's on in the car, there's no craziness going on and cursing and acting the fool. But you never know. Jess is already 2 bottles of Merlot into the night. He's eating meat. You know, it could get crazy. I don't know what's going to happen here. But picks from day again. The chat should know. They pretty much interact. Everybody sort of knows everybody in the YouTube kind of world. But I'm going to run through some comments and we'll talk a little more. Penn State defense will be good in the first half, just like Ohio State. Yes, I don't know. Penn State defense could be good. They should be. A low-scoring game, I guess you'd think under here. Look at this troublemaker in the house. Here we go. Where's this guy at? Where's Anthony at? Congratulations, 500. Can't make the show, but here's my free play. 6-team teaser. Or is this supposed to be a 6-point teaser? Dallas and the over 46. Well,
6 points.
You got to go that route. Dallas is in a desperate spot, as I said. Oh, they'll still make the playoffs, but this is a game I think you should win based on you just dropped 2 in a row. Get it done. Bills in the house. What do you think about Indiana State +7 and the over? Indiana State is playing. I got to find it. If you guys know off the top of your head or talk amongst yourself, because now I could actually turn my head and look for college basketball here.
I'm on the over in this game. I think there'll be plenty of points.
This is great. This is why I probably have guessed, because when there's 70 games and you don't have one, someone might have an opinion on a game.
Indiana State, one of the top offensive efficiency teams in the country. I think they put some points up on Michigan State.
Oh, Michigan State
also can score. Sparty and Sycamores, classic, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird matchup. Yeah,
it's a rematch of that game.
Right.
How this line's come down here. So he's got 7. This was a 9 last night.
Yeah.
Interesting. Groovy says, if Mr. Panda likes the over, then I'm betting a Pollard touchdown and the Gibbs. I grabbed Gibbs and a Sam Laporta. That I don't mind. Especially Gibbs or Montgomery. I think you're all right with the Detroit run game. I actually grabbed a Brandon Cooks anytime touchdown. I don't know. Michael says, Penn State just picked Ole Miss on the first drive. There we go. Wonderful. That's how it's going. Thank you, Jackson Dart. I blame Jesse for talking me into Mississippi there.
Oh, is that how it is?
No, I was a bet Penn State anyway. I mean, I know that it goes to 6, but I won a crazy game last night. I shouldn't have won. I have freaking Missouri minus 120. Rough first half coming, Groovy. It looks like it yesterday. Looks like it. Looks like it. Dave, next up in the chat, says, what about the overnight Lakers game? 3 games over 222. Anybody? Lakers thoughts? NBA, no betting allowed for me. Any thoughts?
Just bet the opposite of whatever you think with the NBA.
I got thoughts on the NBA today, but not on this game. If anybody wants to hear my thoughts on other games.
I'm sick, by the way, so, and I was sick last night, but Buddy Hield, PRA over. Best player in the NBA.
Buddy Hield, point rebound assists over?
Yep.
Who's he on, Atlanta?
Numbers too low. Yep.
Who's he on? Oklahoma? Buddy Hield, where did he get?
Indiana.
Sacramento? I don't even know where he's at.
Basically.
Indiana? Yeah. I thought, what's his name? I thought Halliburton was a big guy on that team.
He is.
You do sound like crap. I
told you. I'm not joking around.
It finally hit you, huh?
Yeah.
The other day you were all right. You said everybody was sick.
Yep.
Razor got to kick him out straight. You got the kiddos. Razor. Well, the good news, hopefully, Razor, you're not like pounding them down. You're having some apple juice and watching, I don't know. I was going to say G.I. Joe or Transformers, but I don't even know what the new kids watch today. Team Money, stop with Florida State. I don't get it. Sometimes it's 10-1. I understand, but to take Florida State today, to think they're going to score points, Georgia's going to score points. Because Florida State has 10 guys out on defense. That's not the spot I want to take Florida State as that's just not the game I want to take as a dog. No. When we disagree, but you need to get the flying pigs out today. The flying pig? I had the flying pig. Where is he? I have to find him. We'll talk about kids in the hall in a second. Here he is.
Oink, oink.
Hey, everybody, look. It's the flying pig.
Oink, oink. Hello, everybody. Whee!
I just got an alert. Big trade news. Raptors are finalizing a trade to send OG Anunoby to the Knicks for RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly.
You're full of shit.
That's a big trade.
I was going to say, that seems like a big move. I thought.
Yeah.
Is that real, Dave? I mean, that can't be real.
ESPN.
It's on April 1st, right?
No. ESPN just sent it to me. Yeah.
Really? That's pretty huge.
Big.
What?
I have the Pistons plus 4.5 tonight. So I guess that means guys are going to be out for the Raptors, and the new guys won't be back in. So they'll be shorthanded.
Well, not only that, that's going to affect like how they feel. Like, wow, we're giving up on the season. Like, why do I think the Knicks are giving up too much for that? Or maybe I think.
I
mean, RJ Barrett's a solid starter, right?
Yeah.
I'm not huge into knowing in depth all their numbers. That just seems, I don't know. I thought the Knicks were playing good. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they need a change.
RJ Barrett has connections to the Raptors and the Canadian national team and stuff like that.
All right.
It sort of makes sense that he would want to go to Toronto, but why would the Knicks? I mean, it doesn't seem like the Knicks are getting enough back.
That just seems, I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, I thought the Knicks were playing good. I guess they're only 17 or 14. It's not like they're super duper, but I mean, I got Toronto. Toronto was supposed to be making deals for the last 2 years. They've been pedestrian. Groovy said he's going to buy a Justin Jefferson rookie card for his birthday. Oh, my goodness. Groovy, thanks for popping in. Happy birthday. LeBron's 39 today? He's 39? I know it's not the president, Lyndon Johnson. He'd be like 139. T-Mike says, Cade Cunningham's on fire, 31, 41, 22, 28 last 4 games. He had 43 before that. So a little Cade Cunningham player prop. Groovy, you're busy today. Yeah, Groovy. Yeah. Come on. It's a kid's birthday party. You know, it's fun. There'll be some nice cold pizza. Make Fort Cade. Yeah, it'll be nice. Well, if somehow that Florida State comes in, I'll be eating crow tomorrow. Cowboys first half, Bill. Yes. Slide the teacher. Ole Miss locked in right now. Hold on. Is that a joke? I thought they were down. Somebody said it was what happened. I thought they threw a pick. You know what though? I'm probably behind in the chat, so I have
Way
no idea what's
behind.
happening.
Yeah, let's just saw it was 3-3.
3-3. Okay, I thought it was like 10-0 or something because I saw it was Penn stayed up, and then someone said that Mississippi threw a pick on the first drive, so I figured it was like 10-0. Slide the Teacher says +6 with Ole Miss. Slide the Teacher. Welcome. First time I've seen you commenting in the show. I appreciate you popping in, fella. I'll mod for you, Sean. You know I got your back. Thank you. Thank you very much. Model those big ones out. Take Ole Miss at second half. Better number. Good luck. Groovy. Have a good birthday. Tooch is in the house. This is it. Go find the sports betting. It is on YouTube, Twitter. We tweet it out. Give Tooch a follow. I always shout out. I've said earlier. People probably know Jesse's all right because he does videos with me on the PMP. And if you haven't followed Picks for Dave, I don't know why the banners aren't up. I thought I had them up a second, and now they're gone. But calm down today. I can't see. I told you that I'm half blind veteran. I know. I get it. But you have to understand, T-Money. I can only decipher. So deciphering is one thing, but when you spell out a different team name, I'm going to think it's that team. All right. You need new glasses. Let's go. Come on, T-Money. Get your act together. Lions, that offense is going to get done, either win or get beat off the TV. 2 frauds. Again, everybody's a fraud. Come on, T-Money. They're not. I'm not a huge Detroit guy. I get it. But there's teams that win games. They've won some games. Dallas set over and Dallas minus Marco. What? Detroit, Dallas over. Dallas minus points. Thank you, Marcos. T-Mike says Columbia is here we go. Columbia lock.
The first time I go for a layup, my back would lock up. I'd be laying on the court.
T-Mike, I like the over Cowboys team total. Yes. This is going to be like the Seattle game. I just think Dallas pulls away. Columbia reminds me of San Diego State last night. I had San Diego State last night. That was a nice 4-2 day. I had San Diego State and San Diego, but I get there's a big Davidson team. Shall I love the Ohio Bobcats? Davidson's favored here, aren't they favored? T-Money says,
yeah, I think so.
Overseas where you are, I can tell you're having fun. How is the hooch over there?
I mean, it's very much the same as the hooch in America. It's probably the same shit, really.
Where are you at, Jesse?
I'm in Thailand. I'm in northern Thailand.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'll be retiring to Philippines in 6 years, so same time zone. My wife's
I've spent some time there. I'm very familiar with the local haunts in Manila. So, yeah. Give me a shout. I might come and see.
Yeah, come by. We're about to buy 250 square meters on the ocean. So a little retirement.
What is that in America? 250 square meters. What is that?
It's like 2,000 square feet.
All right.
Yeah,
so are they houses? Are they apartment condos?
I would just have the land and build a house. So just the land, which overlooks the ocean. About 150
square feet doesn't seem like it's that much. That big.
150. Yeah, I'm probably wrong, but that's they parcel it out in square meters. But right. I'm still on the whatever. I'm not on the metric system yet.
Yeah,
I could convert it for you if you want, but
that's all right. Chris
but
Brady.
It's like 10,000 for that parcel. You know, which is cheap. You know, and I get to look at the ocean every day. So 6 years, 6 more years.
Is that it? Might as well be a lifetime. 6 years.
I know.
Yeah, the hard part's going to be just living for 6 more years.
Right.
I can tell you, I ain't making any plans for what I'm going to be doing in 6 years.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm the same. Like, what, 6 years?
You ain't lying.
All right, Chris is coming in. Bart Simpson in the house. I will not bet High Point. I think he's got on a blackboard. He's got High Point 8-1 ATS, Bellamar 2-5, High Point 9.5 for me.
It's on my card.
Field goal, Bellamar 296. This got to be at like shot quality. What do we got here? So High Point and Bellarmine.
Well, High Point is a good team.
I do like. You know what's funny? This might be a sign here, Chris, because I just got an email that says, "Hey, Sean, Dan, that's my son. He's looking at High Point. I guess we're getting stuff in the mail from High Point University." So I will go with you on High Point just based on I get a random email from High Point University today. I don't know. Might be the lock of the century. Could be 9, right? This line is 9. Opened at 8. It's up to 9.5. So I don't hate it. He might just go to party for the next 3 days. What do you mean? He's always partying. Tooch is on High Point. Team Money's coming in. Don't let Ross see all the Team Money comments. Team Money. Ross was like, Team Money just keeps. He never stops writing. I said, nice. He's in the show, Ross. Missouri game was terrible. Thank goodness for third string trash can. I can't believe Missouri barely got through that game. Toronto Raptors are also on back-to-back. Yes, they are, especially and a tough 121-18 loss. Detroit are winning, but the Raptors do have some pride not to lose a stupid game. Bill says, Sean, why Harvard? They haven't been good this year. I just like the number, man. Bill, it just came out. I'm like, you know what? Harvard is a play for me. There's no Iona to me. Have they been that good? This is not the same Iona team. And I'm going to get some points at home with Harvard. I think Harvard should be favored. And they're a dog. This isn't last year's Iona. The best players I got.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Groovy nephew.
Harvard's at home catching points.
Yes.
Well, they were.
Picks on the ice today. My hockey picks have been awful. I do have a pick on the ice. I do like the Kings today. That would be my ice pick. I didn't put it on the chat, though. Jesse, you're a nice guy. You're the ice man.
Let's take the St. Louis Blues on the puck line. I think it's relatively cheap, -145 against Pittsburgh. And the reasoning being it's the second game of back-to-back for St. Louis, but it's the first game of a back-to-back for the Penguins. And the second leg for the Penguins is against a division rival in the New York Islanders. Much more important the game against the Islanders to the Penguins than this game against St. Louis. And since they fired their coach, St. Louis is 5-2 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. St. Louis might be going to their backup goalie today. Their backup goalie has superior statistics than their starting goalie. So that if I'm going to rattle it off like that, it's probably a premium play. I mean, obviously I've done my homework on that. So just letting you know. There
you go, folks. He's the Iceman, Jesse Schul. It's pretty good. It's called the Iceman. The legend came back to flex my Memphis and Missouri picks. I'll say it. I said beginning of show legend. The Memphis game to me at 10.5, I was just dumbfounded. I couldn't even bet it. I was just torn. Like, why are they playing on their own home field getting 10.5? What was that about?
I couldn't figure it out. I'm 30 minutes from Iowa State University, and I couldn't figure out why we're catching 10.5 at Memphis. So
they were 10.5. Iowa was a 10.5 point favorite.
Yeah. They're inflated from when they went into Kansas State and beat Kansas State and Farmageddon. 10
points on the road. So at home, they'd be what, a 25-point favorite?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
No rhyme or reason. I knew we were in trouble after that first drive. But
you'll laugh at Chris because I'm sure it was because of my Bart Simpson Blackboard comment. Michael said I took under 147 Ohio State and West Virginia. I'm not high on West Virginia, so you want to go under there? I don't hate that one. 147.
No, I don't hate it either. The pace would say it under, but pace to play for both teams.
I'm looking on my sheet, but we'll move on because now we're just over the comments and we get to the panel. There's a Gold Eagle, Sade. It's been a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you, Sade. I'm the smooth operator. Great song. All right, so the panel. You know what? We don't even need to. I can take the banner off because it's scrolling underneath. There we go. Now all the names are up. There we go. That's how it works. See, that's how things get done here. Follow everybody's. All their handles are up on the board if you haven't already. Bart Simpson comment was good. That's what I do. We make little jokes. So, give everybody a follow. I don't even know because I'm not really a host kind of guy to go around and throw things around the horn. I'm more of just a talker kind of guy. So, I apologize for that because everybody's just going to stand around and listen to me talk. But we'll see if we get more comments. We're on enough channels. We'll see how it rolls out. 4 people. What is this about? Yes, that's what Tooch looks like, Jesse. Yes. I'm like, why is this thing lit up on the side?
Yeah, it was actually a shocker for me. I've seen Anthony, right? Anthony's your co-host, right?
Yep.
And I get you guys sort of confused, but I've seen his face around. I haven't seen yours, and yeah. So I'd never really been. I've seen the name floated around a lot over the years, and hadn't really seen the face attached to it. So
Thanks, Jesse. I'm a big fan of yours. I love the show with Ross and you and Sean.
I did.
Yeah, we have a good time in that show for sure.
I did send Ross a link. I don't know. It's early. I mean, he might be at a early bird seniors breakfast. He could be having, some oatmeal and bread pudding or something, whatever old people eat. And I do joke with Ross on the show like this, so it's not like I'm just making jokes on him. And I actually sent Jesse Mike Pimpslack POD a link because every time I see him, he's like, Jesse won't come on here and say anything to me anymore. Apparently, you didn't like one of his picks.
Who's Mike? What happened there?
Dave, can you talk it out?
Yeah, Mike and I do a lot of work together.
Pimp slap Mike. I was on the opposite side of one of his games.
Yeah, and he's like, I haven't seen him again. He went away, blah blah blah. But he has some sort of hard on for you, so we'll see.
So, what was it that he won? What was it that I was opposite him? And he won. His side won, and he thinks I'm hiding from him. Is that what it is?
I said, is that what the guy's gonna hide? He's probably doing a video somewhere.
I gotta let him know. I got a lot of shit going on. Like I actually do have shit going on. Like that I have no idea about that. But yeah,
Dave's like, you do know he's on the other side of the world.
I said he's on the other side of the world. So like what? The fuck?
It's like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, not only that. For me, it's not the first time I've been on the wrong side of a game and another guy was on the other side. Like that actually happens quite a bit for me. So not keeping track of every time that happens. And yeah, I'll give him all the props in the world for being on the right side of a game. But I'm not hiding. I'll show up in his shows anytime he wants.
I told him.
But yeah.
So I'll jump on Dave's show or Mike's show, and they're having fun. They're doing shots every time they score hockey. It's right up your alley, Ross. They're doing shots. You're drinking wine. But when the game's 4-4 in the second period, and he's like, he won't come in here. I was like, listen, he's in Thailand.
Yeah. No, I'm not ducking anybody. That's for sure. I'm here and not afraid to jump on any panels or any shows for sure. But
Moneyline Markel's in the house.
I had no idea that whole drama was going on, unbeknownst to me.
It's not really drama.
It's only going on in his head. That's the only place it's going on.
Well, I guess that's what I was alluding to. It was only going on in his head. But yeah. Next time I see him streaming, I'll stick my head in the chat and say,
yeah, put me on. I was cranking.
Put me on.
JW's in house. Welcome, my friend. Can we get a 500 show rant? Yeah, I was gonna go into stirring the pot. That'll be my next rant because maybe we'll do flat Earth stuff for Dave because he's a big glober, believing that the Earth's round. Barter's actually writing, I will not bet parlays today in the thumbnail. That's what he's writing in the thumbnail. I will not bet parlays. Best way to go 3-1, baby. Put that 14 parlay in, Chris. CD Lamb anytime touchdown. Yeah, what is that odds though? I mean, he's going to score. I think, what's his name? Brandon Cooks anytimer was where is it? It was a 3-1, 4-1. I think it was a better payout. Thought I had it written down. Gold Eagles laughing when Markel says, I'm on the Lakers first. I'm shocked, Markel. You're on the Lakers today. Under Cowboys, no. Pacers. I just said that. Is the Pacers over thing gone? That's out the window now? No more Pacers over? Out the window? They've adjusted the numbers after like 20 straight overs?
No, it's not even that. They're not playing the same.
Okay. But have they adjusted the totals to that?
They had before, but the totals are back down to 230s, and it's back to normal. Yeah.
All right. First half, Dallas, yes. Rants, welcome. UGA first half looks easy today. Beck is in well. Too many outs. I agree. Rants, I don't know if I have it. Well, it's scrolling across the bottom. Georgia first half minus 13. Team total first half 16.5. I think Georgia rolls these guys. I'm just hoping if they win, it's 44-0, and I cash it under.
Actually, the Pacers total is 246.5. But I mean, we were seeing them. I mean, that one game they scored 300 points, over 300.
If you're telling the truth, Dave, about that trade, that
Why would I be
has,
lying about it?
ESPN reported it too.
I mean, it sounds like a ridiculous trade to me. I mean, it really does sound like a ridiculous trade.
It's a horrible trade. There's other reasons. I mean, that's not. They gave away everything and got nothing.
But I mean, obviously, that's a big chunk of the Knicks starting lineup out, right? And there's not going to be any guys replacing them. So the line was -5 this morning. If it's still -5, I think that's pretty good.
Did the total come down in the Knick game? Did the total in the Knick game come down? Here we go. Pacers -5 bet today. Knicks are on back to back. I don't know if it's a bet of today, Gold Eagle, but if the Knicks are going to be down a starter, right? I mean,
well, I mean, I think RJ Barrett's worth 1.5 or something. I mean, I think the line was -5 to begin the day, and I think I would have leaned Pacers at that. And then you're telling me they're sending a guy away, they're disturbing the team. You know, a guy's packing his shit and leaving. That's not a good situation for the team. And the Pacers, you know, home team.
I see 5 now. I see 5 and a 246. So the total hasn't moved at all in this game. Toronto line either 3.5. So it's. I guess that's come down. That line has moved. T-Mike says Pistons 11 points plus 650. I can't help myself. Pistons to win by 11 for 6. This is why you can't afford glasses, bro. You do crazy stuff like this. Ole Miss with a ridiculous sweep back to the running back.
The Pistons are going to win today, though, Sean. The Pistons will win today.
I like the Pistons today. Michael, did this sweep lateral? Did we get a first down out of it?
They got a touchdown, 10-3.
They got a touchdown out of it? I love it. Bowl season, baby. It's fantastic. What are they, Michael? Yep. The trade is 100% true, but it's a silly trade. Yeah, that's a weird one. Total move from 248 to 245.5 now. There we go. I just don't understand that Knick trade.
Well, I mean, RJ Barrett is a Canadian, right? I think his father worked for the Raptors organization as well. There's a Steve Nash connection.
So, all right. So is this going to be? We're just going to focus on him and being a face of Toronto, or because he's a Canadian cat?
I mean, it might be. It might be like his career is going to take a better trajectory because in New York they're not invested in. There's absolutely no investment in making RJ Barrett a star in New York, right? They want bigger, better stars around.
He's got to be like 25. He's young, right? He came out.
He's the same age. It was the same class as Zion, right? And in fact, when they were both in the draft, I posted on my social medias that RJ Barrett would have a better career than Zion, and of course, I've gotten roasted for that. I've gotten, people have attacked me. You're a fool. But I mean, you look at it now and you look at where Zion's sitting and you look at how fat he is and his problems. And, they both have, I mean, in 10 years, is RJ Barrett going to have had a better career than Zion? I mean, it sounded crazier 3 years ago than it sounds now.
No, I would have agreed with that probably. I mean, kind of like a swing guard is going to be better than a big man. We see the big guys get hurt, like they just break down. I mean, he might thrive in. I mean, he averages 20 points a game in New York. He might go there and turn into a 25-point a game scorer, and obviously
quickly scores 15 points a game too. I mean, I don't know what Anunoby scores, but it's kind of mind blowing that there isn't something else going on.
Right? Like, who else is on the block that they could be going for?
I don't know.
It's not like there's a Harden,
like a
Kevin
three-way
Durant,
trade or something.
Like,
I don't know.
Is there some big guy that we don't know about who is unhappy going to get traded off a team?
Bill McDonald says R.J. Barrett's solid, but not an all-star. But yeah, I mean, he's on the trajectory to be a borderline all-star for the next 10 years, and Zion's on the trajectory to be out of the league in fucking 2 or 3 years. I mean, that's from what we're seeing. If he doesn't lose some weight and smarten up.
I mean, it's tough to say what's an all-star nowadays. You figure like, 20-point a game scorer, solid play. But now you got to be a lot better than that. Now he's going with, who's that, Swaggy P up there? That's what my son calls him. He told me to call him Swaggy P.
It's not a lateral move with Quickly in there. It's two good guys. And Anunoby scores 15 points a game. Basically, Quickly and Anunoby would be a lateral move, in my opinion.
Yeah. Why? As I'm saying, why are you throwing the other guy in there? That's why it's like, what? Is there a draft pick involved? Like, is there?
Actually, I think the Raptors might be getting draft considerations. So what did it say? Let me pull it up.
They're getting draft good.
Yeah.
Zion has more talent than RJ. Zion hates doing it. It doesn't make it. I mean, the guy's a big bloated mess. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was never saying that Zion wasn't the more talented player.
That's not it. But
clearly stating that talent doesn't matter when you get too drunk and too fat. And I'm an example of that.
Me too.
250 meters, 27 square feet. There we go. All right. That's a little bigger. That's a little bigger area. Thank you for that. Thanks for the conversion, Tooch.
It was eating at me. I was like, how much is it? I can't remember.
Team total, Randy, what is the Yankee team total over? It's got to be like 28 and 29 and a half. What's the team total?
All right, here's the package. Right. Toronto's trading Anunoby for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and a second round pick. So they're also getting a second round. That's insane. What?
I'm not a Knicks fan. And I don't. Yeah. I joke about not doing a lot of NBA. What is happening here? Could someone explain that? Because
it's horribly run organization. The owners, the horribly run organization.
Raptors are going to be really happy to get a Canadian kid like RJ.
He's 23 years old.
They're going to be celebrating in Canada. I can tell you that right now.
And okay. Second round draft picks in the NBA, unless it's a top 10 draft pick, it's really not really worth anything. I think that's just my opinion. I mean, it's not a guy who's coming in and changing a franchise.
No, but there's plenty of second rounders that end up starting or coming off the bench. I mean,
but it's not a franchise changing thing. But you're getting extra picks, super. You could maybe package 5 of them, whatever the case would be. How are the Knicks giving? I think the Knicks are giving up the best player in this trade too. On top of it. Well, no, sorry, Knicks fans. I got nothing to tell you. That's
what's the score in this football game? I'm not watching it.
Cowboys will cover Detroit defense. Detroit defense is terrible. That's why we like the over. That's why I said the other day to ladder up the Cowboys team total over 40.5. I think they're going to score 40 something. I think it's a shootout. 44-33. Zion's last game, 21-10-8, coming from Duke Diehard fan, but I understand. I think he's underachieved. Yes. Well, that's the problem. That's why Jesse was like, I kind of like RJ better than Zion. Anube is on the last year.
The thing about RJ Barrett is he's never going to be in the headlines for sleeping with a porn star and all this stuff, right? He's going to be in shape. He's going to show up every week. He's going to put in 20 points a game for the next 10 years. And be in shape and athletic, and that's asking a lot from Zion these days. I mean, Zion's not showing us any indication that he's going to be able to do that for the next 10 years.
This is interesting here. So last year the deal could, who is on the free agent block next week where the Knicks are trying to maneuver to get big money on? That could be the angle.
That could be
dumping salary.
Well, how much are they getting paid? I can tell you right now.
Zion's trash. Unbelievable. People don't watch the NBA and trashing Zion when he's been balling. You can't just look, T-Money, I think you're looking at just recent kind of how the guy's been as opposed to how he's been.
I got to get going, Sean. I'm taking the girls ice skating.
There you go.
Nice to
Fun.
meet you guys.
Tooch, thanks for popping in.
Congrats on the show.
Give our guy Tooch a follow. He's on Twitter at just I type in Tooch VIP to find him because I can't spell his last name Santucci. Too many vowels and consonants.
Take care. See you, Dave, Jesse.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, John.
Good to meet you.
Tooch. It's easy to call him the Tooch. We like to joke. I don't know. Sometimes we do a show and we'll call him Mr. Truck because we're doing. He's like, oh, I kind of like. We're doing college football. He's like, I kind of like this. I'm like, oh, He's like, you're against me. I'm shocked that you like the 27-point favorite. I like the dog. You know? He was on a monster on the college hoops early. Randy says, I finally betting the Packers this week. Here, yeah, Jesse, we can talk about this because we're on the over. We're on the over, and then all of a sudden the quarterback situation changes. We're like, what the heck just happened here with the over?
Well, it almost feels like Minnesota's throwing in the towel. I mean, you got Nick Mullins. Sure, he's turning the ball over, but he's moving the ball. He's throwing for over 700 yards in 2 starts. Now you put in Jaron Hall, who doesn't really inspire any confidence that he can do that. So, I mean, I was tempted.
Go ahead.
I mean, I was tempted to take the Packers when I heard about the quarterback change, but I mean, the Packers have their own problems. So now I'm just pissed off. I'm pissed off that I think I had a good read on the over, and now with the quarterback change, it's no longer it doesn't really apply.
I was looking at all the 7 and 8 kind of teams here in the NFC, and your 8 and 7 group of teams, and I believe they were like right at the top in the playoff hunt, based on how things would break down, right? I mean, they're 7-8. A bunch of teams are 7-8, but they win here. They're 8 and 7, and other teams go from 8 and 7 to 8 and 8. So all of a sudden, you have a cluster of 8 and 8 teams. How are you? Like you said, like, what? You don't want to make the playoffs? I don't understand. I don't understand. Green Bay defense has struggled lately. What are you doing? It's a winnable game. Do you not want to make the playoffs?
Playoffs? You talking about playoffs?
That was the best. Jim Mora, right? That's Jim Mora for the Colts. Like I said, if RJ Barrett's not sleeping with porn stars, he's just letting the best of life pass him by. Chris Barrett, miss out on the play that was given out earlier on the show. What play did you miss out on? We're giving out play. We give out plays all throughout the show. What play? Hockey, NBA. We said we like the Pistons before the trade. On the ice, we said we like the Kings and St. Louis Blues on the puck line. Bill says he could be the face of the league. I'm not saying he can be. Well, I don't know if he could be the face of the league. Maybe in Canada he'd be the face of the league up there because it's just Canada. That's just a weird.
Who was it that said if he's not sleeping with porn stars, he's wasting his time? Maybe he could be like the AC Green of the Showtime Lakers.
Yeah, the teetotaling,
the celibate guy.
Yeah.
Jesse said he liked. Well, I'll tell Jesse, right? That's St. Louis Blues on the puck line you were down with.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse's got like caviar on crackers up there. He's eating.
He usually sends me a picture of it.
Yes.
He's eating a cheese plate.
Michael, have a good one. Thanks for popping in.
Right before your show, I sent him a picture. It's like, this is what I'm bringing to your show.
Yeah.
They call it a charcuterie. Was it charcuterie? A charcuterie board? I don't know.
Are you still keto or low carb?
I took it on the 24th. I just blew it up. Well, I mean, low carb, you can't really be drinking wine, right? So.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So Christmas Eve, I just said forget about it until after New Year's, and after New Year's, I'll go right back into it.
Well, you look not that you weren't, like me, I'm a fucking, puffy faced motherfucker, but your face looks tighter. Like
I just got a haircut. That's all it is.
That's why.
That's all it is. It's just if you trim it up on top, it looks real good.
That is true. When I shave my beard and get a haircut, I do look skinnier. My face looks skinnier.
Yeah, that's all it is. But but whatever.
will.
None of that matters. It's all about how you feel, right? I'm almost 50 years old, and any day that I feel like I'm under 50 rather than over 50 is a good day.
I'm gonna end the show on a couple channels here because nobody's even watching on American Gambler. Can I end the show here? You are live. I guess I can. Oh yeah,
No.
remove.
I don't know if
Post is
you can
created
or
on
not.
YouTube for this. Okay, no, I can't do that. So you can't just close out shows, huh?
It's connected. Well, you can press end stream and it ends everything.
Yeah, that'll shut everything down,
Yeah.
not certain channels, huh?
Yeah.
I thought I could remove certain channels.
I don't think so.
I mean, it says that if I clicked on it, it said to delete it. That's weird. Oh, all right. Whatever. American Gambler, Max Wager, nobody's watching. Unbelievable. No, and what happened to Facebook? There's not a viewer on Facebook.
People that started Facebook like me, like I went to a college where in 2004 it hit first. It was one of the ones that, it started at Stanford and it came down. SC was one of the schools that it was open to. And all those people are 40 now. So that's what happened to it. Social media is a young kid's thing. Facebook's an old person's thing. My grandma has Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's for pictures of your kids and pictures of your dinner and stuff.
Yep. Facebook used to be Instagram, where it was spring break pictures and girls showing their asses, and not anymore.
So where's that on Instagram now?
Yeah, Instagram and TikTok, and
you could stream to TikTok to Instagram now, can't you?
I'm not sure. I have an Instagram, but I don't ever go on it. I was doing pics on it and free pics. It's too much. Don't care.
Yeah, I have IG. It's just basically I just put like not family pictures, but like if I'm out with the kids or whatever, put nonsense on or wherever we're visiting.
I'm thinking about turning it into a hunting page where I just show a bunch of dead animals, but
nice.
Yeah.
We love the meat. Chris says I got High Point ATS record wrong. It's actually 9-1-2. High Point is the play today. I told you. I get a random email from High Point and then you bring it up in the chat. That's a sign. Sometimes that's all you need when it comes to betting.
You know what? Actually, that's probably enough for me to put a quarter unit on it. Actually,
right? What are the odds that I get an email like that and then somebody comes in and talks about it?
I'm gonna take a look right now.
Rams money line, the Bears +4 already won the Browns. Easy win on the Browns. So Rams money line here, it's easy to do. It's easy to do. I don't know though. I could see the Giants winning behind a quarterback change. I can see the Rams winning. What I could definitely get 100% right is I think this game goes over the total. Bears, I don't like the Bears. Guy I know, guy I respect is on Atlanta. He sent that to me and went from 3.5 to 2.5 3 minutes after I got a message. So I think the Falcons are the play there. Thoughts, you guys? What? Anything? Rams, Bears?
No, but this High Point game, getting almost 3 points of value in the index, even laying 10 points.
It opened at 8.
I'll take 10. I'll put a quarter unit on it. It's just a sign. This is just a fun little bet. Talked about it too much.
Yeah, I like this one. I like this.
This one? Yeah, last game from Wyoming. I like Wyoming today. I got him.
I don't like having to lay the points.
Yeah.
I'd rather have them on the money line, but I gotta think they win it for the Gipper kind of scenario. And
exactly.
and I mean this is a team that Wyoming in these type of games in this whole win it for the Gipper type of games. They've displayed the ability to do that. So I like Wyoming.
I'm with you on them.
It's the only game I don't have a play on. The only bowl game I don't have a play on. So.
The problem is, though, I had San Jose in a similar kind of thing where they had a coach had to win a bowl game, and I'm laying 9 points, and they lose by double digits. Can't score
against a team that has no starters playing.
That's a little concerning.
They broke the record for opt-outs. I mean, it was that was
The
That was
Coastal.
a
I was
bad
like,
one.
what is that about? I have Wyoming. I got them at minus 135. I got them at a 140. I actually came in. I think I have them at a. No, I didn't get a minus 3. I got them 140, 135. But I am concerned. It's been a wacky bowl season. I mean, I'm 12-10 in bowls. I'll take that because I've won games I shouldn't have won with. We talked about UT San Antonio, Kansas. I'm laying 12.5, 13 points, and the lines are coming down to 7-8. And I'm getting wins there. I'm losing totals that I got at 63, and they go to 69 and 40. Open to 47s, close to 40s. I'm losing. I mean, so I know I said it this year, Jess, that I wasn't going to do bowl games early. I'm definitely not doing it next year. That's my New Year's resolution. I say I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
I would say that what I've noticed is get in on early lines for bowls after Christmas. Like you still try to get the good lines for the after Christmas bowls, but the before I'd say pass on the before Christmas bowl.
But even that, I got a bad number on Missouri, -2 plus 110 or minus 120, and the line totally changes. I caught that one. It's just weird. Like I'm catching games I shouldn't have gotten, and I'm losing games I should have gotten. And that's why I'm a couple games over 500 because it's just been one of those years. They got to do something about this transfer portal, man. That's just.
Well, it'll change next year. There more games, more people will care, more people want to stay. You know, it's definitely going to be different. It's not going to be the same. But I enjoyed the past 2 bowl seasons. I kind of had my thumb on the pulse of a couple things, but it's different next year with 12 teams. Think about it. Anyone that's already going to go to the draft is going to go, but a lot of things you'll just see it's not going to affect it as much. This year was crazy.
I don't know.
I can't believe Dylan Gabriel's going to his third school. He turned into JT Daniels. That's who he turned into. He should have never left Central Florida. Man, oh man.
Well, I mean, he followed the coach, right?
He did, but he went to Oklahoma to get more shine so that he'd look better in the draft. I mean, even though UCF's a good school, Oklahoma's a top program in the country. And then he got outshined. Now he's the new. Actually, he might be the new Bo Nix. You know, see how
Where's
it works
he going
out.
now?
Oregon.
Well, I mean, if you just look at what Bo Nix did, I mean, it looks like a pretty good move, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe
you can't criticize the move. I mean, his draft stock certainly should be up at this time next year.
But the Bo Nix move feels different because the Bo Nix move was Bo Nix just completely shitting, laying an egg at Auburn and then going to Oregon and it just being a better situation. That's why I compare it to JT Daniels. He went to USC, then he went to Georgia, then he went to West Virginia, then he went to Rice. He was getting outperformed everywhere he went, and that's what's happened. That's what happened at Oklahoma. That's why he went to Oregon, was because he was getting outplayed by the guy that's coming up behind him. So we'll see. Maybe he's a good quarterback, but he should have stayed.
They're in a whole new conference now, though. Like, how's that going to work?
How's
Oregon football working in October in snow in Iowa?
Yeah.
Or wind in Northwestern. Like, how is that passing game? And I know they play in Oregon. It's the Northwest. They could have rain and weather too, but I don't know, man. November game in Michigan could be snowing. I don't know how that transpires. You know, no one's thinking about that. USC going to play Michigan and Michigan State back to back in the end of October, early November.
So I thought about this too, because a big part of a big part of Pac-12 talent period is Southern California boys. These corn-fed guys from Iowa that have been playing football in 0-degree weather their entire life. It's going to be interesting.
I'm going through withdrawals. No UFC. No UFC, huh?
Yep. Not till next year.
Not till next year. I love it. Chris Brady says, best of luck, Dave. They got Team Money. Anyone think this Penn State game is going over both teams? Well, listen, I just give me Ole Miss, baby. Chris Rabado. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Obviously, first time you commenting. I appreciate it. I like Cowboys 6.5. Yes, I like Dallas myself. JW didn't think Ohio State would lose to Ohio State. Didn't think Ohio State would lose to. Yeah, that's what happens. You hurt themselves when everybody wants to not play. Terrible game. I thought Missouri should have done a little better there, but I'll take a win. I'm not complaining. 6.5. I knew what you meant. 6.5. We knew they're a favorite. We like them. I think Dallas wins going away. I knew what you meant with the Missouri, but they did lose to themselves because everybody opted out, and then they come back in, and then they thought, hey, we can just show up. You can't do that. You can't do that with a guy who's never thrown a pass. Teammate says the books disrespect Columbia today. Do you think Michigan will score a bunch against Bama? I want to go big on Bama. Really large, so I'm trying to think how Michigan can score 33. So forget about your Columbia and Fordham. You said it was a lock. Fordham is the play. The whole world, I haven't heard anybody talk about Michigan. Everybody likes Alabama. And I want to get to these comments, and we'll talk about this game because we have another guest back in. I don't know if it's going to turn into fisticuffs. They will push back the portal. I think they should, Les Stance. Back it up, my guy. Good to see you. Follow the Back It Up podcast. T-Money says UFC will be tough next year if they play like they against
That was insane. They played in San Diego in December. Give me a break.
Wyoming West. Yes, Sniper West in the house, my guy. Yes, we like Wyoming as well. Super necessary. They have to move the portal back. If you can't hire coaches for a certain time, I think it's got to work the same with the players. I mean, I get guys get hurt and they're going to sit out or whatever, but I'm not a. You're getting the. If you're going to go in the portal, you're out. You can come back to the school next year, but you're out of that bowl game. And if I'm a coach, I don't want you on a team. Go. You're in the portal. Goodbye. You know. How does that reflect on your other teammates? Like you don't want to play with them. I got to go get a payday. How are you going to develop? You're just going to hop to a school every single year. You're not going to develop. You're not developing. Next guest, my guy, Pimp Slap Mike BOD. Here
Mr. Sean Higgs, happy 500, my guy. Good to see you.
Thank you very much. You know everybody in the chat. We were talking about earlier about commenting, going head to head with guys and. I don't know. Here we go. Your buddy's here. Try to keep it clean.
So yeah, I guess you got to remind me. It sounds like I was in your chat, and I disagreed with you, and you were right. And I mean that happens a lot. I mean it wouldn't be the first time I was wrong about a side in the game. But why don't you tell us about it?
Well, take a look at the background here. Let me give you a good look at the background here.
Okay.
And maybe you'll remember.
Eagles.
Maybe you won't.
Eagles.
Maybe you won't. It's okay.
It could be Eagles. He could have liked the Rangers.
It was definitely had to have been Eagles. The only visceral reaction Mike has.
Hey, Mike, take a look. Take a look at my background. That's how much I give a shit about any fucking team. So take a look at my background.
There you go.
Mr. Eagle down below. It gets a little rough. The homerism comes out. It is not just on TV about Eagles fans. It is in their blood, Jesse. It is insane.
I don't play favorites. It's all about money.
I agree.
I don't go into people's comments control either, though. That's the thing I don't do. So that's what's up with me. So,
well, I'm not hiding from anything I said. If I said if I bet against the Eagles and I lost, but that happens about 44% of the time I make a bet, right? I mean, it's not like that doesn't happen, right? I think I'm hitting 56% for the year, flirting with profitability, which is better than most, and yeah, there's a lot of losses in there. So if I was wrong about a particular play, I can't be too embarrassed about it. I really can't.
I took it from Mike Jess because I came in and I was like, I don't know what game it was. They were just in that stretch. I think it was Dallas in Dallas or at home. Then they had Buffalo. So they had like their big one, Kansas City. And I'm like, this is the game they get picked off. Because Philly, come on. Even this week laying 12, it's like, I don't want to lay 12 with Philly, man. Like, they're just playing with fire. And finally, they got picked off a couple in a row. Thank goodness. We had to bring Mike back down to earth because they look like it was like you can't just.
So it was the Kansas City game. It was the Tony drop pass controversial calls game is what it was, right?
Was that the one on the Monday night game?
I believe that's the one it would have been.
I had Kansas City that game. Kansas
Yeah.
City out of their bye week, but that's another. I mean, Kansas City's. What do you think about that game, guys? So they're laying what, a 6.5 today tomorrow versus Cincy. Thoughts on KC? Who's the best team? Is it Baltimore's the best team out of there, or is it quietly Buffalo's going to be the team to beat? Or how about the Browns? Are the Browns going to pull a miracle run here and get to the championship game in the AFC?
The Browns don't look too bad. They I can't believe Joe Flacco is doing Joe Flacco things here. It's unbelievable. He looks better than he did.
Did you guys see the video of Flacco like rubbing heads of Jets defenders? Yeah. Did you guys see that? I mean, that looked like a confident quarterback.
That guy was
and one
head too. Did you see that?
And one of the defenders is like, don't touch my head. But in the end, he got up and puffed his chest out and said, "Don't do that." But in the end, he was still hugging him and still respecting him. And I mean, Joe Flacco
he was on the team a year ago, though, wasn't he? Wasn't he on the Jets last year?
But you could tell that they respected him. I mean, he was cruising through their lineup, high-fiving guys, rubbing heads, doing whatever. And I mean, he was commanding respect, and it sort of showed me that he's a guy that is well respected anyways, and it says a lot.
Yep.
The fact that these guys came back from losing, like, you thought they lost Chubb, and you're like, the season's done with them. They can play defense, but what do we do? I mean, we've seen bad quarterback play. What happens to teams? They just totally go off their rails. This team continues to just find ways to win. It's crazy.
Elijah Mitchell did not look good, though. Was it Elijah Mitchell? Is that the one I'm thinking of that went down?
Oh, yeah, he got a concussion, right?
Oh, my God, though. He was twitching on the side, on the ground. Involuntary reflexes galore out of that guy, and that was pretty scary.
And we saw that with Tua, though. And that's why I was like, I can't believe they're letting this guy play again that season when he's got all convoluted and his bell rung. That's why I was like, I don't like Miami this year. He's a hitter. I didn't think he'd make it through Joey Bosa slamming him to the ground in game 1. But I don't, it's weird.
I'll tell you what, I think it's a great spot for the Bengals here. Way too many points, I think, in this Bengals situation.
I was just going to say
with the quarterback, but we're at 7.5 now.
Is it 7.5 now?
No, it's down to 6.5 last I checked.
All right. I look at the Browning thing as the Steelers got in the last game 1 came in, and his last game against the defense. He's been nipped a little bit. Like it's one thing chucking for 300 yards versus bad defenses. Kansas City is the last 2 years, this year and last year, and even the end of the year before that, they've gone defense first. And if you're not onto that, if that cat's not out of bag yet for you, I don't know what to tell you, because this is not a Kansas. They're scoring 21 points a game right now, Kansas City, whatever. They're not an offensive club. I just think that at less than a touchdown, Cincinnati has owned them, basically. They've beaten them, but that's with Joe Burrow. I think Browning. I think the defense is the difference here. If KC wins, they're going to win by double digits. Maybe since he scores late as a backdoor, but I don't know. I don't want 6.5. I'd rather take money line. At that point, it's a money line play for me with Cincy because they're either winning or they're losing by 20-10 or something.
Yeah, I found a little 27-0 system on Cincinnati here with the favorite coming off a loss, becoming a big dog in the next game against a team that's got a better record than them, and kind of that public thing. Public wants to jump in on knowing Kansas City, right? They're doing Kansas City things and they're this and that. Well, Kansas City's 1-3 in their last 4 games, so they should be pissed and motivated, obviously. But I think it's a tough spot for them here with the points. It's not a thing where I don't know that they cruise control victory in this game here. You look at the other side. Who would have guessed if you said you got a Cincinnati Bengals team with a backup quarterback that no one's ever heard of, and a Kansas City team? Guess which one's 1-3, right? I mean, the other one's 3-1. It's crazy to think what Cincinnati's doing with the capability that they have right now.
So last week, the Raiders quarterback, 62 passing yards. The Raiders total offense, 205 yards. Inexplicable that Kansas City lost that game, with only giving up 205 total yards. I mean, I don't know how many teams this year have lost a game where they've only given. That might be the only game that's been lost if you're only giving up 205 yards.
Yeah.
So, the idea that go against Kansas City because they've just fallen off the map, I would buy into that if it wasn't for that discrepancy, if it wasn't for the fact that they played well enough to win that game, They got very unfortunate. Their defense obviously dominated, and if they do that, if they do if they play exactly how they did last week, even let's even say their offense is still anemic and not very good, but if they give up 62 passing yards and 205 total yards, they're winning by more than 6.5 points. So that's why I think it's a buy low spot on Kansas City myself.
So you're saying the line should be like what? What are you saying the line should be?
Well, what it opened at is like 7.5, right? Didn't it open at 7, or the look ahead line was 7.5?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's gone down to, and there's a big difference obviously between 6.5 and 7.5. So yeah, I think that's what we're seeing is the perception of last week's loss. But when I analyze last week's loss, I look at a game that it was a loss on the in the standings, but it was a football game that they won on the field, like as far as the line. They won the line of scrimmage. They won all these categories, and they somehow found a way to lose. But it wasn't a game that they were outplayed.
It seemed like at some point, and I know it happens in college and basketball, particularly where we see these teams go deep, but how many times can a team go all the way before you start getting that extra mileage that taxes you a little bit there? And kind of feels like that's the window with Cincinnati or with Kansas City right now, that they've just gone so deep so often for the last 5 years now, that they've been not just a playoff team, but a Super Bowl team. And you got to figure that takes a toll on them at some point as well. At least in my head it does. Right? We saw Golden State Warriors. How many now, granted it's different. There's more games in basketball. I get that. But in terms of the overall mental and physical approach, it's still got to be somewhat similar. You still got to go out there every day and for an extended season, at some point, it's got to wear the tires down a little bit.
Well, I think you're seeing that in Mahomes now. With the way he's getting frustrated and lashing out now. At this, he's getting kind of annoyed at everything. Drop passes, sacks, the whole. You see the frustration. You didn't see that out of him before. Before it's like, oh, look at this guy. He's Mr. Cool, laid back. Yeah. Gets a job done. Now it's not working out as well. Kelsey's, maybe a step slower because he's got 40 guys dragging on him because he's got to carry an offense.
And a superstar.
Yeah, thank goodness for Taylor Swift. I never would have found football. Wasn't for Taylor Swift. Just started doing these channels.
I like what Mike said about the, looking for Kansas City to suffer a letdown because they've gone so deep and they've played so many games. But I think it doesn't apply to this week. I think that applies to future games in the wild card. If they make a wild card or whatever, that's when you apply that logic to betting against Kansas City. I wouldn't apply it here this week.
Like where they're not the top seed home team, they're in as like a 10-7 wild card team, and it's like they lose and the season just ends because it's just a culmination of drop passing and bad O-line play where he's running for his life, and just the whole thing just falls apart, and they just bow out in ugly fashion in the first round of the playoffs there in 2 weeks or whatever. That's what I think is going to happen. Who are they getting right now? Who are they matched up against? Who are they getting? The Browns? Really? Seriously, you're going to get a team like that? I don't want to play that team. I sure as hell don't want to play Buffalo. Les Dan says it's necessary to push back the portal. Absolutely. What channel are we in the comments from? They all pop up here. They all pop up here in the chat. So no matter what channel you're on, and there's a bunch of them, I get them all right here. Nevada Maverick. Do you think going cross country, former Pac-12 teams going Big Ten is going to affect recruiting? I don't know if it's going to affect recruiting. It's just like, what are they coming? Are they coming to Jersey to pull guys from going to Rutgers to go play for Oregon? I think that's more of, hi, we got to go play Rutgers, and like, how's that road trip going? At Rutgers in Maryland, they're going to hang out, and that's the kind of stuff you got to look at. Those are those, because you're going to have to stay on the East Coast. They're not flying back and forth. That's not happening, right? They're going to stay. They're going to stay in Jersey and take a bus the next day down to Maryland or something, right? They can't fly back. They got that much money. They're making that much money. They're just going to fly out every week like these guys are. Like this is an NBA game?
Sean, that would be bad for the environment as well.
Yes, we can't have that, especially for Cal. How is Cal getting over to North Carolina? How's that going to work? What's that carbon footprint on that one?
You might as well start using plastic straws again if you can do that.
Gold Eagle says, I like the Jazz today. It's been a while. I got to the Gold Eagle comments. Been up here. Sorry, Gold Eagle. Sade. I just love Sade. I feel like busting out a little Sade music here. The Jazz. Who the Jazz have? Where are the Jazz? Against Miami here? I don't know. The Jazz, to me, I like taking the Jazz at home. Is this a spot, though? I don't know. Again, we were talking about – I was talking about Pistons before the trade even happened, so I'm still stuck with that. And you have the best background, apparently, Jesse. Nobody likes the Christmas llama. I got it. The Christmas llama is going to be coming down pretty soon. To Moose, my guy. Tommy, you like what? Hi, Jesse. Tired of the guest. Hope all's well. Good to see you. Yeah, you've seen some of us before, Tommy. I got to get Tommy he wants a llama shirt. I got to make a midday money shirt and send it to Tommy out in PA. He's a PA guy.
Apparently, Ole Miss is up 20-10, so that's good news. Good news for us guys.
It was tied when I last saw it. Wow, good for Ole Miss.
I had Ole Miss again. I have a 3.5, and it was a 6. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go with the nonsense again. Who's betting?
Well, Sean and I have been branded SEC homers now.
We started the season, Mike. We're doing a show, and it was like, man, Florida, tough spot to go play in Utah, right? Utah's a tough place to play. Oh, my goodness, Florida, you guys don't know what you're talking about. These guys. Now, I mean, I can't speak for everybody in this chat. I'm speaking for myself, but I think I can when I say I don't think we know the third stringer and the depth of every single team and how deep and all these players are in recruiting. I don't know that. I mean, I buy my magazines. I go through. I kind of try to get a little grasp of everything and go from there. The comments section. Again, this goes back to Auburn and Cal. We said, let's take Cal plus points at home against Auburn. Auburn traveling, offense. Here comes, well, these recruits. They have all these guys. Folks, I don't care about any of that. It's about a number. We're betting numbers here, not on the team. We don't like the SEC more than the Big Ten, more than the Sun Belt, the ACC, the Athletic Conference, Big Sky. It does not make a difference, the team names. It's the numbers. They're killing us. Auburn, oh my goodness. SEC homers, just. See, Mike.
You go SEC, it's not a bad look at any given time you take an SEC team. They're just a better conference.
Like, you get the funny comments sometimes in your shows, right? You get some like off the wall kind of remarks. We get a comment on Ross. I sent out the comment a link to Ross. The guys in Ross's show, you think they're all alumni, right? They have to have like a plaque on a bench somewhere with their name on it because they know every person on the squad. We joke with the names: Arkansas, Euclid, Duquesne, right? I just say funny names for you. Don't even know how to pronounce the guy's name. How can you take you seriously? I mean, like, folks, have you watched the show before? Have you watched?
Yeah, you know how childish we are. West Virginia, come on.
I mean, oh my goodness.
Well, I'm happy. Some of them die hard. They're big time. They're loyal.
I understand that.
You know what I started the season, and SEC fans were on our ass. We were anti-SEC, and then it's come full circle. Now they're calling us SEC homers.
There you go.
SEC. We were against Florida in game 1 against Utah, and I think a couple weeks later it was like Auburn. We were like big anti-Auburn in that spot. You guys don't know what you're talking about. These guys are clowns. Like, okay, sorry, right. Sorry to offend you. I didn't know you were a booster for the school.
Hey, Sean, I'm going to get out of here.
I feel better.
I wanted to hop on. Yeah. I'm just, I got things to do and I got to figure out some things. But anyways, congratulations on your 500 show. Is that what it is?
500 on the BLeav.
Yeah. Woo. There you go. I saw the link. I kind of forgot about it last night that we talked about it. And then I saw the link and I had to be here. Good to see Jesse, obviously. Good to see Mike. Best of luck, you guys. And I don't know.
Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll do. Maybe we'll see you next Wednesday because I got a show on Wednesday. That's the next time I've got a show. So
Nerd Talk
Dave,
Wednesdays.
If you're going to do an all day college basketball show. If you
No, it's
if
not.
you, if
Well,
you,
we thought about it, but the problem is the pull is football. Like I'd get half the
Yeah.
audience probably.
yeah. Well, let me know, and I'll be there. of
Okay,
course,
cool.
But,
We'll see you.
Later, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Good news for Dave is it's not COVID. He showed that to us last night.
Oh, yeah, he's COVID free.
He did himself.
That's the worst. Because was that Wednesday? He said people are here and they're sick. Somebody was sick upstairs, and I was like,
that's always fun when you got the sick family around, and it's like it's coming. It's just a matter of when at that point, right? So I think he said
my brother flew down
COVID,
on Tuesday night, and on like Saturday, he's like, "Oh, one of his daughters was sick," or on Friday she wasn't feeling good, and my mom's like, "Oh, this is great." So she's gonna be sick over the weekend. Feel bad on the plane. Second one's going to get sick when they're here or on the flight, and then it's just going to transpire. We're going to have like 2 weeks of sickness so far. But no one is ill so far this week. He's been here the whole week, so maybe it was just a little passing kind of stomach bug or something. So he came down from New York. He's outside of Syracuse, and that's what I thought when I didn't know if it was an Eagle question, like he faded the Eagles against you, or maybe he took somebody against. I saw McNabb, so maybe he faded Syracuse Orange for you in college basketball.
I'll tell you what, I'm all for fading Syracuse. I basketball and football, but not next year. Next year is going to be different. Next year it looks like
I couldn't believe they couldn't score a point in that bowl game.
Yeah,
I know you got nobody in there, but you can't score a point, like just based on principle.
That's a tough spot too. I mean, the quarterbacks, the coaches, like there's so much turnover in that program. And that's been the case with most of these schools, but most of the schools have at least had some depth to be able to go out there and do something. And
if you're staying, don't you want to like tell the coach you're good and don't Deion Sanders me out of here with the bad luggage?
That's what I would think, right? You want to show like you belong. Like, hey, at least there's a spot. It's a 110-man roster, right? At least there's a spot for me somewhere.
It's especially like a day before the game, they get a big recruit from Ohio State to come in. You got to be thinking, wow, okay, wow, we got an Ohio State quarterback. Not that he's the end all and like he's, some kind of, number one draft, but that's a nice little part. The guy's a 4-star recruit. I mean, he's a talented guy. He's supposed to be good. His numbers weren't bad in Ohio State. I mean, you're following 3 guys who just drafted in the NFL. I mean, how? Come on.
Look what Ohio State did without him. I mean, I know there's more than just him that's missing yesterday, but
were they missing? Or I thought those guys came back and played. That's why the line went back up to 6.
They were god awful is what they were. It was a bad spot. What was the final? I don't even know what the final was in that game. I just remember it was 3-0 and they were cooking. They were doing okay. And then
14-3, which is, I think that's I mean, Missouri played Georgia kind of tough, right? I thought they played kind of tough versus better teams. The fact that they go and score 14 versus that defense, holy cow. That's not a good sign for SEC football, honestly. I mean, you could have lost that game scoring 14 points.
Times are changing. Time to get you guys out of the SEC and introduce you to the rest of the nation.
Yeah, right. Okay. We got to stop backing all these SEC teams. What are we doing here? Oh, man. And that's funny because I like Ole Miss today over Penn State because James Franklin versus a good team. Oh, they punched it in there. Now we got a game now in Penn State here. I couldn't back him as a favorite. Maryland's got way too many guys out, so I'd have to lean Auburn there. Florida State, I can't. I mean, the line's 21. That was 14 a week ago. It's 21. What is? Whatever happened?
Fading the Big Ten seems pretty
Remember
solid. Just
a couple years ago, there was a crazy bowl after the playoff games. There was a bowl game after like the national championship game. There was a game on like a Thursday. You guys remember this?
I don't.
Jeez, I'm pretty old, Sean. I don't remember that.
There's a game whether it was after the championship game or it was after the 2 playoff games. There was a game.
Was it like in Hawaii or something?
It was a crazy. I think there was there was MAC teams involved.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
This region's very suspect to begin. I don't think the Big Ten is very good to begin with. I mean, I know that's probably an easy statement to say, but just I watch a lot of those games. I'm a Penn State guy. I'm a fan of Penn State. I'm not a Michigan or Ohio State guy, and every year it's those three teams or nobody else. The rest of those teams are garbage. You can't even watch some of these games, 3-0s and
It's terrible.
20-point totals and
You see games like that, Mike, and then all of a sudden you turn on the Big 12 and it's 56-45.
Yeah, a huge disparity between the defense programs and the offensive programs for sure. It'll be interesting to see how the Big 12 teams meld into the SEC, because the SEC definitely is more rounded. I don't want to be Brandon the Homer with the SEC, but
no,
they play offense and they play defense. They're pro-ready guys in most cases when they come out, and you bring in a team that's you're gonna bring somebody in from the Big 12 that doesn't know how to spell defense. It's gonna get ugly quick.
Well, we saw A&M. A&M's been terrible.
Yep.
Now Texas has a defense now. Finally, Oklahoma's going to get thrashed.
Yeah,
they're going to get thrashed. Tennessee, A&M, LSU, Georgia, Missouri. They're going to put up. All those teams are going to put up 30. If South Carolina's going to put up 30 points on Oklahoma,
right? It's going to be difficult program to watch for a while. It's going to take a couple of years, but you got to get out.
You have Michigan and Penn State and Ohio State. Penn State's got to be blown because they can't beat. They've never beat those teams. That's what the bowl games are going to be like next year. You're going to have those three teams in the playoffs plus Oregon, right? I think because I'm going to give Oregon the nod over USC because of the defense, and then you're going to have 6 teams out of the SEC minimum. Because some team in the SEC is going to have 4 losses, but it's the Alabama, Georgia, LSU, and Texas. Oh, you know what? They won their other games. You're just losing some heartbreakers. Come on. This is the NCAA tournament all over again. Let's take the 11th team in the Big 12 because they're 20 and 13 and 9 and 8 in conference. It's a tough conference. They should get in there. What are you talking about? Give me the crap. Give me the small school. Give me Liberty at 13-0. I'll take Coastal Carolina 11-1. If it's college hoops, I'll take Mid Tennessee State, who's 29-3 or something. Give me that wacky one-off team. Don't give me the 12th best team in the conference or the 7th best team in the SEC because they lost to the teams above it in the bowls.
Yeah, but you want to see that, or you want to see a Miami, Ohio in there? They're going to get blasted. Mac, I don't know. That's a difficult spot.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I'll take a team out of Mount West. I think a Mount West team might be able to hang.
I still think 6 teams is the best. I think it's the
it's
Power
6.
5 the Power 5 conferences, the champion. You win your conference in the Power 5. You're in, and then there's one spot left for that debatable team, that one team that didn't win their conference, but they're so fucking good, and then they get in, and that's it. And 16. I think 6 is the magic number. Any more than that, you're just fucking around.
My Penn State fanatical neighbor is eating Tums by the handful right now.
At Penn State. Man, I'm so sick. Every year it's the same thing. Penn State get excited and they get up to a team and they're doing well and they're beating everybody in their conference, and then all of a sudden they got to play Ohio State. It doesn't matter if it's Ohio State or Michigan. Both those games, they're going to lose them. They're going to be doing well right up to. It's just they're the 2.
They're going to get invited to a playoff next year for doing that.
Yeah, it's
the other thing is though, when they get there, you can clearly see that Franklin doesn't have any faith in the quarterback. He's not letting Aller throw the ball. He's reined him in. He's trying to win the game by not doing anything. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to take any risks. We're just going to try to run the ball and let Aller throw 5-yard passes. And it's like, well, that's not going to work. And I don't know. I think maybe Franklin is the man who needs to take the blame.
And that's why I kind of like Penn State more. I was like, you know what? Penn State hasn't taken the leash off this kid all season. Is today the day they're going to let him just chuck it downfield or do? No, I mean,
no.
we have running flea flickers on Mississippi scoring touchdowns. So Lane Kiffin's like, whatever. If we win, super. If we lose, we're going to have fun losing. It is what it is.
It's more about, especially in these bowl games, it's more about the extra practice time you get by allowance of being in a bowl game to build the program than it is going out there to,
because you get that next year, you get to practice up in March and April. You get to have practices. It's funny because it's like that in high school football too. You make the playoffs down here. It's like, oh, you made the playoffs. Your football team could practice in March instead of May down here for high school football, or practice in May. So yeah, it's weird. It's like, oh, you can have extra practices. It's like, or maybe it's during football. I don't even know. It's weird. But yeah, the extra practices are huge.
Huge opportunity for these programs. Trying to put new schemes together, bringing the redshirt freshmen and get them up to speed. It gives them that extra allowance. It's huge.
Let's Dance wants some Minnesota Wild early. Here we go. Here comes the degeneracy. Let's Dance. It's almost 2:00, and it's like, should we bet something early? Mike, you're a nice guy. You like the ice. I know you were looking at Boston last night. We were talking. You like the Bruins.
I do. I think it's we talked about the Devils spot yesterday, being a Devils play, first game of a back-to-back situation, especially for the road team coming off of a win. They're in a huge win spot there across the league. I want to say it was like 73-20 or something like that. But New Jersey specifically in game 1 is 6-1 when they're on the first game of a back-to-back spot. In game 2, they're 1-6. They are the definition of the zigzag situation here. Now you got a Boston team that lost 4 games in a row, comes back from the Christmas break and beats the brakes off of Buffalo Sabres here. I think they're at home. They're in a get right position. And they're not as bad. They had dealt with some injuries. They had some things going on in Boston that they had to get through, some sickness as well. But they got the break at the right time. They got a nice little Buffalo team that's not anything to write home about at this point. So they were able to kind of get the program back in the right shape, get the confidence going. And now you got a spot where New Jersey's just in a huge letdown opportunity to begin with. The challenge is the price. It's minus 150-ish for the Bruins right now. I would think that, the regulation play is probably the right move there. New Jersey's going to play Boston tough. They're both contenders for the Eastern Conference, but just seems like it's you can get the Bruins in regulation at around an even pick 'em spot. So I think it's a good opportunity to take advantage, specifically against a New Jersey team that's in a huge letdown spot. It's my
Rutgers.
Yeah, I'm on Boston myself. I think it's a good spot for Boston. Just straight up money line. No problem with that.
Yeah,
Rutgers a 27-point fave that were tied last time I saw against Stonehill.
Plus, I could see New Jersey being one of those teams that wants to. They're not going to just go away. They want to play them tough. That looks like they're not confirmed goaltenders yet, but Vanacek versus Allmark. Vanacek just played, got lit up. So I think it's a difficult spot for the Devils. Period. I like St. Louis. I think Pittsburgh's in a letdown spot here. It's a little opportunity for a dog spot with the St. Louis Blues today. I'm not sure how aggressive I want to get with it here, but it's a nice plus 175 spot that I'm seeing. And I think this
puck line. I got a puck line at minus 145, which is cheap for a puck line.
Sure.
And yeah, I like the Blues as a puck line dog in this spot.
Tristan Jarry is just not all he's cut out to be here. I mean, he's got a decent number. He's he plays well at times, but I think this is just it's a travel spot for St. Louis here. But I think they
is he even going to play though? That's the thing. The Penguins just played the Islanders, right? They shut out the Islanders, and the Islanders are of course the division rival, and then they got a non-conference game against St. Louis team, and then they're right back against the Islanders. It seems like this particular game is the one that they, it doesn't really mean a lot. It doesn't really mean a lot compared to the next game against the division rival is a lot more meaningful. It seems like this is the spot where you put backup goalies and backup players in.
Yeah, it looks like they've got him confirmed. It looks like it's Hoper and Jarry. Which is interesting because you're right. I think the next game is the one that really means something here. You don't need to take this. Maybe they want this win. Maybe they think this is the one that they can pick up the win on, expecting to let that next one down. But I think it's a good price for a Blues team that's
since they fired their coach, they've been rolling. We've seen the story in the NHL this year. We've got 4 coaches.
They're 5-2 straight up since they fired their coach, and 6-1 on the puck line. And yeah, their backup goaltender has better stats, better save percentage, and goals against average than the starters. So
it's interesting to see that the coach was that bad that the team just like we talked about with Penn State, they take the leash off these guys now, and all of a sudden they can find winning ways here. I didn't expect much out of St. Louis to start the season, but I certainly didn't expect the
the slow start that they had. But it's good to see them back on the winning track. I hate Pittsburgh as a general rule of thumb, so I'm good to watch them get beat up tonight.
It's your background certainly would suggest that.
You know what's funny is I grew up as when I grew up playing hockey, I was a Penguins fan growing up. So I was big with the Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr, Kevin Stevens, the Samuelson brothers. But my allegiances have changed. What else is in the ring?
He was feeling frisky. He wanted to play the Wild. All right, hey, it happens.
That's another team that's been on the uptick since they removed the coach. When you got a team with 2 days of rest, line between -120 and -170, they're 45-21. So that would support a jet spot, not a Wild spot. But if you're feeling frisky, take that plus money. Did you guys look at this Auburn game? I know I'm late to the party here, but it's right around the corner. Auburn hasn't been a good. Yesterday, it kind of burned me with these bowl games, but Maryland, I don't think much of baby Tua, and Auburn's an SEC team. Here we go, that SEC Big Ten matchup.
It's Auburn or nothing for me here, Mike. It's a lot of guys out from Maryland. There's no other way. I don't know how the way you look at it. You got Auburn 6-6, bad season. Get that 7th win in Maryland. Your quarterback's leaving. Really? I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to really dive right into craziness here. It's one team is off a bad year, right? The fans are upset. It's 6-6. You're like, Music City Bowl, and the other team, their quarterback's not playing. He's playing. I like Maryland, right? He could throw the ball. I'm going to go with a guy who could put the points on the board. And didn't Auburn like lose last second to Georgia and Alabama? Like didn't they give them fights, right? If I remember correctly,
Bama loss had to be heartbreaking. I mean, they were up on those guys, and it was 4th and forever, and they threw the ball into the end zone and got the touchdown. That was an unbelievable spot for Bama to come back and beat them boys. But I remember that. I don't remember the specific person, but I remember seeing a ticket where somebody did the cash out option where they had Auburn on the money line, and they had, I don't know, a couple $1,000 on it or whatever the price was. And they cashed out right before at 4th and forever, they cashed out. And right before the touchdown for the comeback came on the board there. So got the money line with Auburn, and then Bama still came back and won the game. I remember that, but I don't remember much about the Auburn season outside of that.
Yeah, they were 6-6, but they again lost to Georgia 27-20, lost to Bama 27-24. Which does that tell me that they're going to come and lay an egg here because they only get up for good teams, and Maryland is not a good team where their quarterback leaves and where's
I don't think so. I mean, I think for a team like Auburn, can they rest on their laurels that we played Alabama tough? And
no, that's what I'm saying. You have to take
it doesn't matter if we shit our bed. If it doesn't matter if we shit the bed in the bowl game, I think they're still very well in need of a good show out here in a bowl game for recruiting purposes, for Hugh Freeze. I mean,
you want a 7th win. You want to be better than 500.
And when you look, if you're trying to judge Hugh Freeze, what kind of job did he do this year? How many people are saying he did a great job? I mean, it's very debatable right now. It's very the bowl game could be the difference between he did a good job or he didn't do a good job. So
I see their leading sack guys.
I think he has
out.
some pressure.
They're leading sack guys out. Looks like they're leading pass cornerback defenders out. But does it make a difference with the backup quarterback? The quarterbacks on Maryland have thrown 13 passes all season. And like you just said, Auburn is 6-6. You have to get a 7th win. You have to.
I was thinking about the first half. I was thinking about breaking the game down into halves, just thinking battle-tested team that's got more to play for, at least to start. Now, can Maryland figure it out, make adjustments once they figure out what pieces they have left over? I was kind of thinking maybe maybe long term with the game, it's something I don't want to be involved with. I just kind of was thinking Auburn can at least with the experience hit them early and maybe kind of catch them, sting them a little bit right off the gate before the long haul of the game and the adjustments get made. Is kind of what I was thinking with this game. I don't know.
Nothing wrong. Get in, get out. Hello, goodbye. They take a 13-3 lead at the half and then forget about it. Just go.
And then they end up losing the game, 17-13.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
23-20, they lose last second field goal.
Right. Did we just script the game?
Yes. It's fixed. I saw. Did you see the who's that? Larry Johnson, old guy from Kansas City, he's talking about how the NFL's fixed. They want to kill him.
Oh, really?
Yes, he had some kind of TikTok. And of course, Jess, we're gonna talk. It's I don't want to throw his name up. He doesn't really come in my chat, but you've seen him in your chat and on Ross's show. He likes to have rants, and every post I wanna comment on him. I'm like, come on, bro. Everything he has, because every game is like, oh, this is so fixed. This is so rigged. Like, it's a minute into the game. I can't believe they fumbled. This is the refs have this. Folks, the games are not rigged or fixed. And if that's the case, how about you start betting on the fixed side? Problem solved. Problem solved. Bet on the side that's rigged, you'll be a millionaire. You'll be good. You're good to go.
Nobody ever complains about it when they're winning.
I mean, really, is it like, come on? You just found sports betting 2 years ago or 2 months ago, or when I remember losing a game. It was I think it was 49ers Arizona, and I thought I had a winner in the bag. They did an onside kick. One of the two teams, the guy took the onside kick, took it to the house, ran in for a touchdown. Totally screwed up everything. I was like, what just happened here? I mean, heartbreaking losses for years. It was just NBA. Everybody goes on a run. You're up 30 in the NBA in the fourth quarter. Good luck. It's not over. It's not over yet. That's going to come down to a last-second shot. Oh, look, the Knicks are up 97-66 entering the fourth. You turn the game on, it's 101-98 with a minute and 37 seconds. How are they outscored 30-4? Welcome to the NBA. It's not fixed. It's just crap. That's what it is. It's garbage. It's garbage.
I have not been following the social media of the said individual that you're speaking of, but yeah.
And I like it because he comes. Listen, and again, somebody mentioned Tooch mentioned I don't want to say his name, Trent earlier, and I'm like, I really don't like throw people's names out if they're not in the chat. I don't want to badmouth people or talk about other sites and things like that. But the post, I'm like, come on, man. I see that. I just shake my head. Like, stop. If that's the case, if you think it's fixed, then I get it with, T-Money's in here. He's just like, oh, it's fixed. If that's the case, why are you betting if you think that? Save yourself the heartache. Save it. Because for as much as you think it's fixed on your side, someone else won.
Right.
Is he on the fixed side? That's the smart guy?
I'm good with that.
Right?
I'm good with being on the fixed side. I don't care.
You know what I'm saying? Like, every game is going to have you're going to win, you're going to lose. You're going to cover, you're not going to cover. Every side isn't a fixed game if it loses or wins.
I think said individual might be trying to just take advantage of the algorithms. You know what I mean? Like the algorithms like it when you say that. So
I guess go on to some crazy hot take. I guess
I never thought about it like that.
Is that stuff? I mean, I guess I got to post more things. I don't.
I got to be outlandish and put my tinfoil hat on.
No, you don't, T-Money. You don't say every game's fixed. I'm just saying from a standpoint of like, oh man, you know what you say, T-Money. You're like, this game, this nonsense, shaking my head kind of stuff.
The same guys celebrate their winners hard, and then they're losers. Everything's fixed.
Winners, right? Never in doubt. I like putting that one up. Never in doubt when the team wins by a half point. But there's games, there's a spread, and it comes down. Some games come down to that. What about all the other games? If there's 100 games, if 70 of them don't come down to that number, what does that say? What is that one? You lose a heartbreaker? That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it sounds like.
Right.
It's a bad beat. It's a tough loss.
It happens.
That's why you got to always be getting that CLV. And if you're getting if you're watching look ahead lines, and you're getting 2 or 3 points against the spread, every freaking Sunday, which you are. If you, I mean, there's a reason why Sean Higgs was the #1 NFL handicapper last year and very prominently featured on the leaderboard this year. And it's getting in early, looking ahead, playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers, right? And you get the better line coming into every Sunday. Yeah, you'll lose some of those games. The line, it's not going to matter. You're just going to lose. It's going to suck.
Yes.
But 3 or 4 of those games, I mean, how do you put a number on it? But 10% of those games, you're going to win because you got a better line, and that 10% is going to be the difference between everybody else who hits 50%, and you're going to hit 56 or 57 or 50, whatever it is. That's going to be the difference. That closing line value.
Jay, I see the argument. Someone's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter because if it wins, it wins. It loses, it loses." It does matter because you're not. Those people are looking in the comments, and I want to comment, but I don't feel like I want to come in and then it's like I'm trying to like troll somebody who I don't follow. It just comes up because other people follow a person, right? So I don't want to jump in and be like I'm trying to, hey, come check me out because I do things, over here and closing line value matters. But like, it's not. I don't look at it as one game, right, Mike? I say this all the time when I'm with you guys. I don't look at it as one game. If it loses, it loses. But I know over the course of 365 days of the year or a season of a sport, that number is going to make a difference along the line. More. And more often than not, you're going to get more wins than losses in that.
Right.
So for like you see, I know you guys see that. You see like, oh, COV doesn't matter.
I saw a guy that's very well known, featured on a very high-profile site just the other day, saying, "I don't understand why guys want to flex when they get closing line value, because at the end of the day, when the play loses, you're still wrong." And that's what he said. When the play loses, you're still wrong, but you're not wrong. And that's where I'm at. Is like, no, if I get a team -3 and they get bet up to -7. And I've got locked in -3, I'm not fucking wrong. I'm right because they wouldn't ever get to -7 if I was wrong.
Yes, you're wrong.
Because if I'm wrong, the whole world's wrong. If I'm, if I got -3 and everybody else got -7, I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm right. And whatever happens so if I lose that bet, that doesn't mean I'm wrong. That just means, shit happens, right? That's all that means.
If you have Georgia at -14.5 or 15 or 16, and they win by 17, who's smart? The guy who had them at 14, 15, 16, or the guy who bet them at 19, 20, and 21?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, it sure matters. If you wait on Florida State, you're a winner, and you look like a genius. Well, you had to wait out for a better number. I think that the reading the tea leaves kind of, you need to be able to do that a little bit. How you think something's going to happen.
But this idea that you could get the better line and you still lose means that you were, so the interpretation that you were still wrong. I mean, that is, if you feel that way, how much do you know about gambling? I mean, honestly, like, should you just quit gambling if you feel that way? Because I mean, at the end of the day, if I get a team -3 and they get bet up to -7, I'll fucking take that every day. And if I do, if I get every team that gets bet from 3 to 7 and I get them at 3, I feel pretty good that I'll be okay at the end of the day.
I don't think anybody would say, okay, you can have this line or this line. Which one do you want? Are they all going to take the worst line?
I'll tell you what, yesterday's a good example. Look at that Cincinnati college basketball game. Opened up at like 16 or 16.5, closes at 18.5, ends up on 18 on the head. If you took that late steam and followed that thing at the last minute, you took an L. You got it early. Cincinnati, 2 10-2 teams too, right? So why are these two teams 10-2 and this one's getting a ton of points? What's going on? And that was the early warning flag there, saying these two teams are not created equal at 10-2. One's played nobody and loses on the road. The other's been beating everybody. And you give me that 16.5, got it, grab it, good victory. You get that 18.5, you took an L. It was an 18 finish.
And I say this often on Sundays. You can't wait, or on Saturdays too. Like, oh, here comes Lee Corso with his mascot hat, or here comes the panel, right? Well, how do you get that? Because I get all the time. Where'd you get that number? Like, that's why I don't even post like what I have, because my numbers are so. I'm not waiting until 11:57 on a Saturday to do college basketballs or college football or NFL at 12:52 on a Sunday. I'm on. I get 12:52. 12:52 on the Friday the week before is when I have my Sunday for next week. I mean, really, short of quarterbacks falling out of the sky like it's the great turkey drop from like WKRP Cincinnati. These lines they're gonna move based on what people see on Sunday. You have to think
Right.
That's how I do my games. I thought Detroit was losing, Dallas was winning. I want to take Detroit next week. No, didn't happen. So now I got to run back and get the other side, because both things I thought were happening didn't happen. The line's still open up the same. It didn't move anymore. We're still 5.5, but you have
a quick look at the leaderboards on multiple sites that are transparent will show that Sean has had success by getting in early, getting closing line value. Of course you would. Of course you would. Trying to argue against closing line value is
I don't understand.
Mind-boggling how anybody could argue that.
People are like, all right, and I'm all for when the thing is the spread really doesn't matter when it comes down to it, right? It's very few games actually come down to that number. Dogs are going to win outright. Favorites are going to win going away. But then there are the games that are within that number. If they're, like they say about baseball, right? What's the thing they say about baseball? You got to win. You win 50, right? It's win 50, lose 50. It's how you do the other 50 or something to break. I forgot how the thing is. Or football, they break it down quarterly. Like, you just have to win different sections. So, dogs are going to win X amount. Favorites are going to blow them out, right? So doggies outright, favorite blowouts. And in the middle, you have numbers that are going to come down to the point spreads. You're going to beat it by a half, 1, 2. Is it going to move? Or you could be on the right side. That absolutely turns you from a 50% or less guy to a 53% plus guy who's going to make money. I'm not even saying like 60% or 57 or 63%, which are crazy numbers to do over thousands and thousands a game. I'm talking 53, 54, 55 just to get that positive over those things. Those halves matter. You have to get them. I don't understand. And I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think you have to walk away from games where you miss the line movement. Let's say
the line has got to move on. There's nothing.
You like the Packers -3. You slept on it. Now they're 3.5, 4. You walk away. You don't just bet them anyways. You miss that. You miss the line. You don't bet. You just put it in your pocket and wait till next week. And you don't lose games by half a point when you don't have to. That's my opinion.
I agree.
What is it scrolling across the bottom? Are these your play? I don't know where.
Yeah. So I put out like the little like show picks.
Nice.
So in the show, again, and as I say, Mike, like I win, I lose, and these are not all plays I help have on the site, but these are sometimes. A lot of times they are like the hoops games are college. The football ones aren't, because I had Mississippi on the site, and I had Wyoming. I didn't put on here, but that was on the site as well, and the Georgia total, because I've talked about it on other free pick shows. So it's sometimes I try to get all my free picks I do on other shows and throw them all up here, but then I forget a couple. It's these are just what I've done on the show. So
I see the Pistons in there. You like the
Pistons money line and the thing again. I'm 13-12, but on the sites I use 3 sites mainly because they're the best with keeping records, but they're a little different on each because of I couldn't get a line on one at the time, half-point difference. But like on Ross's site, I'm 15-8 with NBA, so I'm 13-12 here because I can't give out every play. I do sell picks, but they do mix and match. NFL here's 44-30, and I'm 103 and like 80 or so. I don't even know what I am in NFL. What am I? 99 and 82 in NFL. So they kind of vary off of the paid sites because I can't put everyone in here.
Sure. That makes sense.
But my on the bottom, you see my baseballs mentioned here, 295 and 353. It's down like 2,600 in the channel. And that was almost equivalent to what I had on the sites because I couldn't get a dog today. But I had a nice Snell Cy Young. I had a Strider to lead the league in wins. I had a Cubbies over, Arizona over. You can't get everything in the chat. You know, you try to. I put games out, they win, they lose. That's what I tell people. I'm like, my things are here. I don't, you know, I know some people go on Twitter and they get trolled like, oh, this. I mean, I put losers up. I lose games. I don't play about losing. You know, it's I
Twitter's
don't
undefeated.
say we're moving 8 times a game here on this. Bro, I mean, baseball, you bet freaking 1,000 games on a season. What do you think I'm putting on those? Do you think I'm putting dimes on all those games? I'd be down $50,000. No, I don't know. I had a losing season. It happens. Other ones, I know when I'm doing good in NFL college football, I can get a little more down on those. It's not as volatile, I think, as baseball. I feel like I'm good at doing side and totals in there. Like, you know, Mike, I tell you, we're doing like the with the first period for hockeys, and
Yeah.
the other day you're doing some MMA, and I told you, like the hockey yesterday with the jump on these live. I was like, I'll put 50s on those. Just go something little. They went 2-1. I can't
Right.
complain about that. I'll take a little. I'm not going crazy on things that I don't do, and I don't say. I tell people in chat not to do that. I understand. Hey, you're new to something. You're new to something.
I get it.
Go crazy on it. That's fine. I was gonna come in and make fun of you for not knowing something. I'm not. I'm not a big like hockey. I go on shows. I go on when I'm on like Sports Grid. They laugh. They're like, "How the heck are you throwing money out on something you don't know the goalie?" I said, "I don't care about the goalie. I look at the spread, and you know, there's the number, and I look into the scheduling. That's what I'm doing. I'm not worried about a guy scoring goals or who's hitting well today and a wide receiver. I don't care about that. That's all built into the number already. That takes out all that information because the number is that. The number tells me everything you need to know. I don't need to know the quarterback, the running back, the pitcher, the fullback, the winger. You know,
That's why I love that the the NBA, the guys that have been betting NBA for a number of years, there are still waiting on the. I got to see the injury. I got to see the injury report. I got to see who's in. I got to see. It's already in the number. It's already there. Now, is it going to move a half a point? Maybe, but the books aren't going to get themselves in a position to take a bath because Giannis isn't.
I think the real money is earned on predicting it. You know, like you got to gamble. We're gambling, right? That's what we do. This whole fucking thing is based on gambling. So you're looking at, well, the Dallas Mavericks are playing the second game of back to back. We know that the starters played. These starters played 45 minutes last night. We're expecting them to either rest them or limit their minutes tonight, and you can gamble on what's going to happen, right? You can say, well, I'm going to predict this is what's going to happen with their availability or their minutes tonight, and if you're correct about at the end of the day, that's what we're supposed to be doing is gambling. You don't need and if you're waiting for that to be confirmed in the injury report, you're getting a bad line in that.
Oh yeah.
So
you're taking a bad on those numbers.
So the gambling is predicting that's going to happen, and getting the line accordingly, and then getting a far better line based on what's probable to happen.
Right. Well said.
Michigan and Washington in the championship games. I like them both. Yeah. I haven't heard anybody mention Michigan. All I hear is Alabama talk and Texas talk.
So talk me into it, Sean. What about Michigan? Why Michigan? What have they done? What has Harbaugh done to justify that Michigan pick?
I actually like J.J. McCarthy. I watched him one game, and it was a random game versus Nebraska. And I thought, this guy can make plays when he has to. And again, it comes to who is betting on. All you hear is Alabama. I got an Alabama future somewhere.
That's true. It seems like everybody's on Alabama.
Right? Everybody's down on Washington. I was down on Washington. I was laying 10 points with Oregon in a Pac-12 championship game. I'm like, why are they laying 12? I had to take Oregon just on principle there. Right? I mean, like, why is that a 10 point? So in Oregon, that line would be 18 points or something. We were telling me that makes 0 sense to me, and I'd have to go with the 0 cent side of things. Right? That just seems bizarre to me. I think everybody's down on Washington. They're not getting a lick of respect. And I like Texas. I thought Texas to start the year. I was like, ooh, we finally got a defense. They're going to be good. I'm getting 4.5, 64.5 under. I'm going to go. I'll ride the Texas defense with the under. This could be like the Oregon game. What are we going to get, 33-30 here? I'll take my chances there. But the Michigan was really, I know everybody's going to bet Alabama. Maybe I should have waited because I'm laying 1. The line has not moved a bit. What's it, 1.5 now?
Yeah.
Well, that's the scary part is it seems like everybody's on Alabama,
Hasn't
but
moved
the
a penny.
line says, yeah, the
Hasn't
line
moved a
doesn't
penny.
the line doesn't reflect that. So
Right.
that's a bit scary.
Right. And I think even with Texas, I think more people are on Texas.
Yeah.
And even that line hasn't really moved either. But let's be honest, the average Joe isn't betting weeks at a time, right? They still come in overnight, well, maybe a little more now on the overnights than in the past, but it'll go crazy on New Year's Day. It'll start dancing around a little bit. Then you'll see. But at that point,
Right.
what's are there head fakes coming in? You know, at that point, the cat's out of the bag. You're late to the game. As Jesse said, we're trying to do things ahead of time. And if we lose, that's fine. I'll lose. I don't care about losing the game because you're going to lose a game. And one day does not make me. One game doesn't. It's you have to be ahead of it multiple times, which we usually are, which we were just talking about. T-Money's like, what about waiting and then getting a better number when you wait?
And there's spots where you do that, right? That if you want the dog and you think the money is going to be, then that's there is spots when you do that. But
I hear people say that, right? If you like the dog, wait, right?
Wait.
If you like the favorite, take it early because it's going to move. And
Mhm.
absolutely, but few and far between,
yeah,
right? I think at the end of the day,
yeah.
it's the consistency and the approach that makes the
you got to
difference.
be pretty sharp, I think, to be waiting on dogs to get that best price.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's not the right strategy, but it's a sharp strategy. You have to be on top of your game to do that.
Chris Sale to the Braves. I'm all for getting as many pitchers as possible. I get it. I don't know. You didn't the Red Sox just get who they get? Giolito? Who they sign? The Sox. I thought they signed Giolito.
I've been so checked out of baseball since with all this other stuff going on. I haven't really been paying much attention. I just know the Phillies got rid of what's his name there, the closer. They said go ahead. I think he's in the Nationals now. I think Washington picked him up, so that's good.
Who's the Philly closer? Craig Kimbrell?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the cash Alabama plus money this year. I figured books are give it to me again twice.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, against the Georgia game.
Good look.
Slim. Definitely not me. Ole Miss, Penn State's a good game. What do we got here going on in this game? Still halftime? We got some we're Ole Miss backers in this chat right now, at least on the panel. Double zeros. Agent Zero. Who's this? Gilbert Arenas. I like Georgia. I got it here in the chat. I'll pull up the big banner here. Georgia first half 13. Georgia first half team total over 60.5. I think Georgia in an absolute blowout.
Bludgeon them, absolutely.
That's what I think. I think it's going to be a no doubt rout. It's not going to be close. I don't think I'm worried. I have an under here. What do I have? 45 and a half, and a 44.5 in my totals in this game. And I'm worried because I think Georgia's going to win this one like 53 to 51 to 6 or something. Georgia could write the score. I'm hoping it's 37 to 3, but we'll see what happens. Giolito, 2-year deal with Boston. All right. Sims talk about hockey fights. You got a hockey fight happening there? Or you just talking about Mike's brother used to knock this guy's teeth out. He'd be knocking out chicklets in junior league hockey.
Popped him right in the mouth.
And as we're speaking about SEC homers, Maryland on the board 7-0.
Oh,
How did they score here in this Maryland game?
man,
Is it defensive touchdown, or is the quarterback come in and do something? I don't know. I don't have my ESPN up here. You know what? I liked Hofstra today. They're getting 8 or 9. I didn't pull the trigger. I should have. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
and I jumped on a few early, but I don't like hearing that about that Maryland spot there. Come on, boys.
Well, now you jump on Auburn at down. Columbia's up 46-40, I see here. And T-Money was all over Columbia. He liked Columbia today.
Nice.
He put Columbus. I'm like, Columbus? What are you talking about?
Columbus.
I thought, and he's like, no, Columbia. I was like, oh. St. John's wins by 5. Dumb. Florida State, 10-point favorite, lose outright at home to Lipscomb. Rutgers favored by 28, wins by a point 59-58. Yeesh. Notre Dame, 10-point doggy, 12-point win over Virginia. I was like 9.5 in that game. I was like, huh. There we go.
We're off. The sports day is off and running.
Creighton's out of the gate 11-3 over Marquette.
I had Creighton in that one. 4
I like
points.
Creighton there too.
Give me 4. Creighton's had an up and down season, but Marquette's been good. There's no doubt about it. But
He's done a great job over there, man.
oh yeah.
Maybe it's just because it's small. I don't know what it is. They win, and he beats big teams over there.
Mm-hmm. Not afraid to test them either. Not afraid to take them out and give them a big test early. I like that so much better about the scheduling with college basketball than football, particularly.
Yeah.
You know, you can go out and take
Remember
a couple
December,
of
you got a
losses,
bunch of battles.
right. Much more fun and entertaining throughout the season than just watching the same teams beat up on the same teams year in and year out. So, well, boys, I'm going to get up out of here. I wanted to
I'm going
jump
to be
on.
wrapping up in a second. Go ahead, Mike.
500. And certainly appreciate you guys spending the time with me here early today and talking about some of the card as well. So I'll see you guys soon, though.
I appreciate it, Mike. I think you got some people said they're going to follow you. And again, like I said, when I come into your show or when I'm with Dave and on the pub side of things, like a lot of in-game stuff, hockey, there's soccer, there's horses, things I don't really jump into. And I don't pretend. Again, talk about staying in the lane. I'll gladly stay in my lane. Let the pros talk about it, right? I mean, it's not something I know. You got to learn, though. You got to go listen to somebody to talk about. I don't hate it. Follow Mike. Glad you and Jesse ironed out the Philly troll. You know I'm going to lean Jesse's side of that because I'll be bad-mouthing Philly forever.
You beat me up pretty good about the some of those Philly picks. So It's all good, though, boys. It's all good. It's all fun. And Jesse enjoyed hanging out with you, too. So we'll see you guys soon. Like I said, man, happy 500. Congrats. And here's to another 500.
Yes, sir.
Later, see you guys. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Call your mommy. I'm making pastrami. Did you see the post on Twitter, Sean?
No, I haven't. I just went to the notifications. I didn't look at anything yet. T-minus, here we go. Columbia plus 260. Browns are plus 5 dimes in the Super Bowl. I know about Super Bowl. I wouldn't mind taking them to get to the championship game, though. Like that.
I mean, 5 times is worth a stab, though. I mean, if they're going to give it to you.
I don't think it's worth it. I think I need more. I would need more because I think as much as I like Baltimore, why do I feel like the Bills are lurking? The Bills are the lurking team I don't want to play. Cam says, I got to go watch a game. Maybe odds close in your favor. Always, Cam. That's the game. That's the game. I'm going to wrap it up, too. Why not? 2.5 hours. My guy, Jesse. Hanging tough, too. It's already New Year's over there. He's awake, and the eyes are still open, and he's been pounding.
I have no idea what time it is here, but I know it's late.
It's 1:30 here in the afternoon, so it's got to be 5 a.m. over there.
4:30-ish.
Yeah, 4:30, right? All right, brother. I'm getting out of here. The chat, take it easy. Everybody's stuck around, hitting the like buttons. I appreciate it. Me and Jesse will be with you on Tuesday on our guy Ross's show, and Jesse does YouTube himself at Jesse Sewell. Give him a follow, and that's it. We're out of here. Happy Sunday. Or today's Saturday. Tomorrow will be Sunday. It's Sunday for Jesse. I'm confused. I don't know where I am right now.
You're in